man. Thanks for listening. Go fuck yourself. Ellis. Moose Knuckle. Red the Dragon. Night Danger. Canada. Uncircumcised. Philanthropy. Stupid Stuff. Supercross. Pain. Nipple. Machete. Fashion. A scintillating bloodbath. A hellacious fury. Evil. Cannabis. Interesting thing. Awesome. Radio. Baby, baby, keep your mouth shut. Baby. Baby, baby, I'm trying to beat my butt. Jason Ellis. Michael Tully. Well, cute on my dick. Andrew Cruz. Kevin Kraft. I swear I am normally a very gassy man. And Will Pendarvis. Fuck yeah, I'm Will Pendarvis. Live from Hollywood. This is the Jason Ellis Show.
You know, baby.
Hey, welcome back to the thing, us and you, and it's great to be here. I mean, see a lot of people, a lot of inspiration these days, a lot of inspirational quotes. People are inspiring others on social media. It's inspirational. Look at my little flat pancake butt. And now look at my ass. You can do anything. You can make your ass. I mean, you can make it big, I guess. I kind of don't believe anybody. It's like, look at this. 18 months later, I'm like, wait. Fucking, I'm not a scientist, but you can put on like 5 pounds in your ass in 18 months? Or did you get those things that everybody's getting lately? Because a lot of people are getting those things. I watch a documentary. Welcome back to the show, Michael Tully.
Thank you.
Recovering from AIDS.
Recovering, yeah.
Obviously, and he's back.
Yes, exactly.
Fooled AIDS.
Take that, AIDS. You'll never find me.
Well-known AIDS conqueror, Tully.
Yeah, it feels good.
Right?
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, me and Magic Johnson.
I was going to say, shout out to the other victorious winner of that fight.
That's right.
What?
No, I already did the wheeze laugh into the microphone.
Well, you're still struggling from AIDS.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, Will? AIDS, Will! Fighting AIDS!
It's being delayed. He's just putting up a quick battle against AIDS on his way.
Well, it is everywhere. Dingo, I call Dingo, and he has AIDS. So that's crazy. But, you know, we have the antidote.
Your son has AIDS.
Right, I was going to leave that one out. But,
Yeah.
Yep, he does.
My kid had it last week. It's all right.
Right, and, you know, I mean, I took a shot, risked my life yesterday. Hung out with the AIDS child.
It was big of you.
I think we're on the age of age. That'll do. No, but he wasn't even that sick. It's kind of a bullshit. I was a little bit offended by it. It's kind of, yes, okay, because I don't want to give it to another kid either, so that's cool. So he does have something, but it's not like what you have.
Is he at the age where he will, like, play it up to get out of school?
Fuck yeah. Well, the other thing now is, he's really becoming like a huge fan of wanting to hang out with me. Mm-hmm. So whenever it's time to go home, he's sad. Like, I dropped him off in school and he was sad, just dropping him off because he was trying to run the sick thing. And I'm like, dude, you can't come to work with me. So, just go. Like, if you're not that sick, you go.
Yeah, I understand.
And then next day he's too sick. And I thought, I was doing Love and H on Monday night, and that turned into quite a thing. I have these as the fucking Coleman Power Sports. I have these buggies in my garage. I no longer have any. My cars are outside in the driveway.
I understand.
There's no more. It's over. I'm now a fun factory. I'm like Rob Dyrdek's broke ass white trash fun factory in like a a 2-car garage. So it's inevitable. You come in, you're like, what are those? I'm like, these are the. Power Sports, you want to go?
Yeah.
And of course, Anne wants to go.
Right.
So
where can you take those?
Well, that was the other thing. I was going to look for this place. I was calling the guys. I was gonna call. I called Hoonigan. I was gonna go there, and then I just drove. I started one up, and I went up my road a little bit because it turns into a dirt road just up on the corner, and I never knew.
Yeah.
I don't want to go up there. I don't care. It's someone else's stuff. So I just went up that dirt road, and then it goes into like a windy dirt road, and at one point there's a turn where it looks off into like the Hollywood Hills, and you're kind of like in your little buggy of your like for kids. I'm like, man, this is you're like an adult cruising Mulholland. You know what I mean? Like you're cruising the windy roads of the hills, but it's this little dirt road that's made perfectly for these cars. So until the cops come, because I'm doing it at a convenient time and I'm not hee-hawing or making jumps or hitting walls or anything, I have like a track from my garage. I just drive out down this burn around this windy road, come back in, and
yeah, Civilization. If you go far enough up, like a Hollywood Hill kind of thing, Civilization just ends. People gave up building at a certain point.
Yeah,
all of them. Yeah, it gets really steep.
Yeah, because I've run up there before. I went the other way. I go running up there, and I got lost a couple of times in my neighborhood because it's like behind a house. There's like a giant fucking hill. There's deer up there.
Yes.
It's just like the wilderness.
Griffith Park is the Hollywood Hills. And there's animals and shit in there.
Can rich people buy more of that land up there? Is that what their thing is?
Well, Griffith Park is not for sale.
Right.
I can only imagine how valuable it would be if it was.
Right.
But before there were a lot of people here, they set a humongous piece of LA aside as Griffith Park. But most of it is like shit that would be houses on stilts kind of stuff.
I was just about to add, it's all soggy shit that I would not want to live on anyway.
Right. Well, I think that's one of the reasons why they were able to approve such a humongous park. Because it's not uninhabitable, but it's nature.
You can feel it when it rains. You can feel that dirt is not good.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, your foot can go in pretty far. Imagine
your house.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but I did watch a documentary this morning because I'm always gathering knowledge, Michael. You know me. Shut up, Betsy. If you're laughing at, I'm a knowledge consumer. I'm reading Aubrey Marcus's book. Not every day, but I mean, fuck, man, I can't believe I'm still doing that. So I'm watching this documentary on how middle class America has been scammed, and this whole story about Volkswagen and how it had pulled this crazy scam with their cars and admitting all this shit from their diesel engines and
the emissions thing.
Yeah, and fighting it for years and years and getting away with it and doing it on purpose and then obviously knowing that they came from they didn't come from Hitler. Somebody else made it, but Hitler at one point did fund a giant. He was the person that funded this giant factory that is still the factories today, which is the biggest factory in the world of cars.
I think that's roughly true. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's coming from my mouth, so sure. There's going to be a little bit here and there. Then they hired the Porsche guy. A lot of German people, in their car thinking, and the Volkswagen thing was kind of a rip off of Ford because America figured out a way how to make a cheaper car for middle class people to have. So they tried to get on the forefront of that. And anyway, Volkswagen's been good most of the years for people, but it was funny to see them break apart. That at one point it was Hitler's company, and then after the war, I mean, I never was into them, and so it's one of those things where if you don't really pay attention, they almost don't exist to you. I've seen them on the street, the Beetle wagons, the fucking hippie wagons. I remember seeing them and going, man, stupid car, and didn't put another thought into it to know that, like, it was the Freedom Hippie wagon. It was the most Freedom Hippie car out of all cars ever constructed.
Oh yeah,
and it was made
right
by a guy who was the most frowned upon, evil, whatever. I don't know.
Well, it's just amazing. It's like if you didn't see it, it didn't happen. So if that had happened in the hippies' lifetime, then it probably would have been a different story. But Hitler wasn't anything to the hippies. They were kids at most when he was around.
Right, and you've said before, just joking a little bit, but everyone in Germany, was okay with the Nazis, and I know we can joke about it, but it's this big company that was affiliated with the Nazis.
Yeah.
Then it breaks apart from it, and then makes this company makes billions of billions, trillions of dollars,
probably
scams, and then is part of this scam where they're polluting the atmos.
Yeah.
And then they go deep into it, and it's like 80 times the emissions. Some of the cars were doing 80 times the emissions that they're supposed to, according to American law, when you have a car here.
Right, and I feel like they did something particular to the American cars. I don't think that, because there's different laws here.
Yeah, they had to change them.
Yeah, they weren't doing the same thing to
Yeah,
other
but what
cars,
they did was they just made it look like they changed it, and
Right.
indeed they did not change it. They were squirting out a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
That it's bad for the world. And then I thought, they're gassing people again.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah.
And then I thought, and then I watched a little bit more of it because I'm like doing stuff, and then it turns out, no, they're gassing themselves even more because all their cars there. It's not just Volkswagen. It's everybody that's a German-made car. The government, Germany, has let some loophole rule go through where it's the law is to protect the engine more than the Atmos.
So they have
atmosphere for any of you people not following my Outback terminology.
So they have like lower emission standards than most of the world does.
Yes, which turns out that they did emission tests in the general, like out in where they are in schools and shit, and they're level like on the ground and in the water and everything, super fucked up. So they're fucking poisoning themselves.
Yeah, that doesn't totally shock me.
For the cash.
Yeah. Well, I think that that's sort of been the case since the beginning of time. It's certainly nothing new that, big business if they have to choose between strangers' well-being and their bottom line, they're going to choose their bottom line 999 times out of 1,000. And unfortunately,
their own kids, Michael.
Well, I know, but this is the tension: is that we're kind of dependent on these people. Most people, in one way or another, work for. Many people take their living from a big company.
That's right.
Our economies, if all the big companies went away, our economy would be absolutely in the shit, and all of our standards of living would be radically affected. But at the same time, they take advantage of us, and that's the tension. And the job of government is to try to work for the people. But we all know that that's never actually really been the case in human history. But sometimes the government's more responsible to the people than other times, and hopefully, I like to think we're still living in a slightly better than average time. I think as bad as our government is, I think historically throughout the world and throughout time, governments have been far worse than the U.S. government.
Living till you were 20 was very old a long time ago.
That's not exactly true.
Okay.
Because
what about 13? Is that true?
I don't know. Maybe it's something. No, that can't possibly be true because humankind never would have made it if we all died at 13.
I don't know. Some of those books are pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense if you found out everyone only lived till they were 13.
The average. That's an average. People used to die young all the time, but there used to be plenty of people who lived to be old.
Wait, like 80?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There've probably been 100-year-olds for forever.
What about Roman times with those 80-year-olds?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. They would have been relatively rare, but dude, if you have a bunch of kids dying, that's gonna fuck up your average.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, you can have 5 guys live to be 100, and then somebody dies at 2. Well, what's the average age?
Right, and I feel like there was a lot less childproof stuff in the 1800s.
God. There was a lot, yeah.
You know, they didn't have any
like birth, for example.
Right, that would have been rough.
Birth was not very thoroughly childproof.
Kid colds would be pretty rough, right?
Everything was bad, and then accidents. It's almost like a miracle when I think about how many things, and I've had a healthy life. How many things have happened to me that I've relied on, medical assistance.
Yes.
Medical assistance.
Oh no, I'm dead. I'm dead
for sure. 1,000 times dead. Right. It makes me wonder how anybody did used to live, because life used to be a lot more brutal. Like, we live a much more comfortable life than people used to, and yet I constantly need medical science to keep me alive.
I know, but maybe
nutrition. My wife made a great point. Did doctors just used to die all the time before they had a concept of like germs? Like, if you're
when do you think germs? No, I reckon you had a feel. You didn't call it that, but I reckon you knew you didn't wipe your ass and then like pick your nose with that hand.
I don't think so, dude.
Man, that's wild. I was actually thinking that to Katie because we have a lot of dogs and cats in the house, and every now and then there's like an explosion because someone eats something.
Yeah.
And then there's just like a shit turd fucking vomit spray around the house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder what it would be like if I just lived my life like these fucking idiots. Like, seriously, they would all die.
Yeah.
If they lived in that house, if they could come into the house and they could eat, they don't. Like, it would be like, I'm talking to you, and I'd be like, and I would take a big shit on the couch.
I know.
And then the shit would be on my leg. And then I would, like, hang out and eat, like, when we lived there, in the shit couch. Like, animals, man. What's with those guys?
But people kind of, sort of, a little bit did that. They didn't exactly...
It's a new book I'm working on.
They didn't exactly shit where they ate, but they shat right next to it, and then they didn't get rid of the shit for a really long time. Dude, I got that.
Animal shit coffee table book.
When I was
Animals. What's with those guys?
Its time has
By
come.
Jason Ellis. Thank you.
When I was in Bali, we went to this like market thing, and there was different levels of it. When we went underground, dude, it was like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom kind of stuff. And they had a fucking vegetable market down there, and it smelled like poop.
Oh, that ain't.
It smelled.
Yeah, because they use the poop to grow it, right?
They weren't growing it there. The place I was made out of like cement. It was this old building.
Oh, dang.
It was gross, dude.
Oh, dang.
It was really gross.
Yeah.
And then I'll never forget this. I've always hated the smell of incense. It's way too strong of a scent for me.
Yeah.
I'm just not into it at all. But I walked away from the shit smell, and I hit a wave of incense, and all of a sudden I couldn't smell the shit at all. And I go, oh, that's why incense existed. That's why it's been around all this time.
And they did come from them.
If I'm around like 500 years ago and I have to choose between incense and shit, incense I'm gonna be living in, I'll be that guy.
You know what you do when you don't clean up the problem, Michael, and you just spray something over the top of it.
I know, you haven't actually fixed anything.
You invent a superbug.
So the germ thing is generally, and I don't know any reason to doubt it, attributed to Louis Pasteur, is the guy who realized, right? He's the germ guy? And that's like the late...
Like a scientist guy?
Yeah, French guy.
Yeah.
Late 1700s?
Yeah.
Is he a microbiologist? I know he did pasteurization in milk. Discoveries of vaccination microbe... I don't know. Anyway. And he was... Oh, no. That would have been the late 1800s. Anyway, people have not known about germs for that long. They really did not... They really didn't know. So wouldn't the doctor just die constantly? Because you constantly bring in the doctor for sick people?
Oh, because he's in the germ zone.
And he has no idea what he should be defending himself against? And he's giving you leeches?
I mean, sure. Was there ever a thing...
And then rubbing his eyes?
Was there ever a thing that worked that we don't use anymore that is not modern medicine that actually worked? Like when you went and saw a doctor back then,
right?
And you didn't know.
I know this is great.
Did leeches cure anything?
He must have done better than absolutely nothing on average. Why did people keep doing it? I agree. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I mean, you know, there's things like kid's got a cough, you could pour vapor rub on their fucking bottom of their feet and put socks on, and it stops them coughing at night.
I'm sure some of the stuff works
that
a
shit
little
works.
bit. And I think does it?
Yeah.
Oh. And I think there's other things where...
I mean, worked for my kid.
Some stuff was like accidentally worked. Like it worked, but not for the reason they thought it worked.
Yeah. And then maybe there's that whole, what's that thing when you think it worked? The person.
Placebo.
Yeah.
That was definitely part of it. Had to be.
Dentists must have ripped your tooth out and shit.
Yeah.
Like with you just get to like drink booze, right? Is that what they gave you? Well, they had morphine a long time ago, right?
I wonder how long ago people started using morphine. I don't think most people... Like, I don't think my mom got morphine when she went to the dentist.
Right. Yeah,
well, I don't think my mom got to go to the dentist, unfortunately.
Yeah.
My parents are still like the tie a string around it and slam a door.
Yeah, my stepmom's that bullshit.
Because
the dentist I had to go to through her was just like... I was 12 and I was calling bullshit.
Well, there's also it's not just enough for the technology or the medicine to exist. People have to be able to afford it.
Right.
You know, there was definitely painkillers available. I'm assuming some people were getting from the dentist, but people like my parents who grew up poor in the early part of the 20th century weren't going to the dentist.
Right.
So it didn't really make a difference.
So then you just get like, if you're gonna have like an abscess in your foot, in your tooth, then it just gets super infected, and then it'll just pop out like like what's that fucking dude that was alone on the island? He hit it with an ice skate.
No, Castaway?
Yeah, like it just gets so big that you end up just stabbing it with something and popping it out.
I guess.
Right?
I don't know.
Like you couldn't die of it, right? Or could? People probably did, huh?
At some point, I'm sure.
Like teeth.
We're talking about a lot of different time periods now. I don't think too many people died of abscesses in like urban New Jersey in 1940. Right. Yeah. I'd like to think that like they would have saved my mom or my dad's life before that happened in 1950 in New Jersey or something.
Yeah, but I bet you there's tons of people, because I know like it's an old school mentality to not go to the doctor or talk about it. Dudes have done that for fucking hundreds of years. So you got like, oh, your fucking tooth hurts. You know, Uncle Teddy died the other day. Why? Well, it turns out he's, you know what I mean, he had a fucking toothache. He didn't talk about it. He had an abscess in his mouth. And, you know, like, how many times did that just happen? Where it's like, I'm not even going to say anything.
I had, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my dick had staph and it almost killed me, and I figured that would make sense. That's kind of like
a fitting end.
Yeah, I feel like if anybody's gonna get me, it's gonna be that guy.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Oh, he's the son of a gun.
So you brought all this up in regard to Tiger going to school, and then but Ann came by yesterday.
Oh yeah, so Ann came by, and then I get a text message late at night saying that Tiger's too sick to go to school. So I thought I'll cancel therapy and I'll do the show from the house, because the other thing is people who listen to the show, and you know, Michael, my wife is more the tendency to get sick than a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I'm not leaving Tiger with her, because that's just like, I'm getting it. So I figured I'll, you know what I mean, for 3 hours I'll be like, hey man, you know what I mean, you're sick, I know you're on Xbox Live, just do that and we'll be good. You know what I mean, I'll take care of him, and you know, I'll get to see him and everybody will be happy and it'll work out. And then fucking, I don't know how many tries later, we couldn't link it up, and I'm like, you know, I just got off the phone with Dingo and you said you were going to be back today, and I was like, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like,
I understand.
And I think I'm getting older and wiser and less like that. You would usually break me, but I was just like, you know, fucking see you tomorrow, you fucking wankers. Like, nobody, if you're gonna get pissed about it, like, but nobody did. I didn't hear it. Nobody's angry at me.
Yeah, some days it's just not meant to be.
Yeah, and that's what's up. Divorced daddy coming in hot and fucking the show.
I thought you might be interested to hear, because something interesting happened to me that I haven't been able to tell. I've been trapped in a home with my family for a week or so, and I haven't told them about this. The other day, when I was not feeling well, this is the first time it's ever happened in my whole entire life, and I almost don't even believe it, even though I saw it. I did not pee in my pants. I peed through my pants.
That's impossible.
I just did not have total control of my...
Where were you?
I was in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I had peed, and I thought I was done, and I pulled my pants up, and the Tamiflu has been messing with my tummy, and I had to fart, and I was like, well, let me just do that while I'm here. So I pushed out the fart while I was still in the bathroom, and I just happened to be looking down, and I saw like a little like poop right into the toilet, dude.
Wait, what pooped in the toilet? You shit?
No, pee went right through my PJs. Like
wait, through the hole or through the synthetic? Through the material?
Through the clothes.
Wait, how much of a no control of your dick do you have?
At that moment, apparently, my no control level was pretty high.
Did you have to keep peeing, or was it just a fart squirt?
It was a fart squirt, and it went right through. And
that's not the only time you've had a fart squirt, though. I feel like you've told another story, something about how you...
Yeah.
See, you gotta do Kegels, man.
No, I think I have... I guarantee you I'm gonna be like a prostate issue guy.
Yeah. I guarantee it if you start guaranteeing it.
Yeah.
At fucking 40 years of age, calm down, you'll be alright.
I'm not saying I'm gonna have prostate cancer or anything, but like just like a large prostate, like guys who get older and just have weird time peeing. I can absolutely tell.
Look, I see cancer survivors, you know.
I'm not saying anything about cancer. I'm just saying you could just get it. I'm not saying anything about cancer. Well, supposedly every guy who's alive long enough, eventually you just kind of will have prostate cancer. So yes, I would bet eventually I will have prostate cancer, and then it won't be a big deal, and then it'll just be treated and it'll go away. That's neither here nor there. I saw a perfect little pee squirt, and it went right through my pants and into the toilet.
It's bad. I understand why you wouldn't want to bring it up to your family.
Oh yeah, they don't need to know about that.
It's not a family question.
They revere me.
I mean, it's not like because the other thing is, it's not like there's an answer to that.
There's nothing. It's not
just like, hey man, I farted and I pissed through my PJs.
Bodies do weird things.
There's no, you know, I don't think Dr. Drew Pensky can have a different answer than mine. It's more of a just, wow.
It's just a slice of life, that's all.
Hey, I don't even have and then what happened. I mean, that's just, wow.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I'm fine. Everything's fine now. Tamiflu's wild, though, dude.
It's like you released your bumhole and it released your pee chamber at the same time.
Yes, that's precisely what happened.
Maybe your crutch region is not a multitasker. That's okay.
That
I mean, does it really need to do that? Don't need your ass to read and write.
In that moment, it would have been preferable, but I'm fine. So I know Andrew and Kevin have been. How are you guys, by the way? Oh wait, I wanted to ask about. You guys aren't sick too.
Glad you asked.
Everybody's fine. If you don't live in the child realm, I think your odds are way higher of escaping the great AIDS bonanza of 2018. What's up with Hot Dog? What's the story?
He got laid.
So what's the story?
He fully banged her in the vagina. That's not what he was doing. He didn't have somebody to come with him. Right, so he hit up her, like, you never know. And she said yes, like, and he said he was going to stay the night. He had a hotel, and she said yes. So, no, he had to take a break 2 times to vomit in the toilet.
That's multiples.
Yeah, and then after he'd done that, he was fine. But every time he couldn't come, so he would jerk off on her. And then the last time when he jerked off on her, when he was about to come, she inserted his penis into her vagina so that she could take the load.
Oh,
what?
Wow.
What?
That's accurate. It sounded like a crazy experience for him.
I don't think it's all that uncommon. I think that
move?
the last bit is uncommon.
I was gonna say
and weird. That's the only thing. I'm just saying, like, for him to be really drunk when it happened.
What?
I mean, he also, like, they fucked a couple of times, and he jerked off on her, and never cleaned off, and then they went at it again.
Who cares about that? It's alright. You know what I'm saying?
I'm willing to make a lot of allowances for your first time. Like, if somebody were to finish the first time they ever have sex in the condom and then fall asleep and then wake up and just start having sex again with that exact same used condom still on.
Yeah.
Anybody else who does that, that's a really, really unusual, strange, creepy, gross thing to do. But your first time, I'm willing to give you a pass. You're so out of your element.
He was also kind of confused as to how other people get traction with sheets. Like, he was slip-sliding on the sheets a bunch, and he wasn't able to figure out how people were able to...
What?
Clean him off! You just said he was sliding all over the place.
No, I don't think he was sliding. I don't think it wasn't because he was sliding in his jizz, right? It was just because they were.
Hotel sheets.
Right.
So he was confused as to how that works.
He wasn't that confused. You're such a hot dog basher. Like, he said that. He said this.
I told him I was proud of him, and I told him, look, you've got a great story of like, hey, my first time was it'll be awesome.
That's got to be pretty crazy for hot dog to get props from Will the fucker.
One day when I have sex, I hope it's as good as
Because he always said his story was that he wanted to have sex, but he wasn't going to lift a finger to have it. If a vagina literally fell on top of his erect penis, he would fuck it, but otherwise he didn't care. He said that many times. Now that he has actually had sex, do we still feel like that was really the way he felt about it?
Like, is he pining to bang this chick?
No, do you think that maybe he wanted to do it more than he let on, and he just, because he didn't think he could get laid, he wanted to act like he didn't care to get laid?
He wants to get laid.
Right.
Yeah. He definitely wants to get laid. He doesn't want to make it too much of a... I think it's cool to say he don't make an effort to do anything, if you're him.
Yeah. I agree. And by the way, I also do believe that he really doesn't want to make that much of an effort.
Yeah, do anything, though.
Yeah, I totally believe that. So who is this lady? I mean, based on what he said about her, what do we think about this lady who... Like, I see his angle. What's in it for her? Did she like deflowering a little boy, or was she just kind of...
She wants to have hot dog babies and get money for it.
That's not what you really think,
I
is
know.
it?
No.
She wanted to go to the game, and he told her beforehand, I'm getting a hotel room and staying up here. And she still was game to do it. So
How does he...
like,
Right. How does he know this lady?
just a friend.
Yeah, but how does he know her? That's
friend of a friend of a friend. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a few. No, that's not so many.
Going there, hotel, watching the game.
Yeah.
She knew she was gonna do it.
Right, and do you get the impression that she just, like, because I don't think he would have made the move. She had to make it happen, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. See,
Did he say he made out with her? Because I said that they didn't make out. Was I right or wrong?
I think he made out with her. It wasn't my prediction of like a handshake or high five after that.
Well, he didn't say he made out with her, didn't he? He just said that he performed some oral for a second. She said there was oral. He said there was oral where she did oral on him and then he banged her and then she would do some more oral. It was a very confusing evening for me to understand. Like, you know, I mean, for beef to mouth, it's just like, but as you said, it's amateur hour over here. But like, over and over, beef to mouth is, I don't know what the fuck's going on, you know?
But he also brushed his teeth after puking.
Twice.
Before going back to...
Yeah, so remember that.
Wait, beef to mouth over and over is weird to you?
A little bit.
Really?
I don't know.
Wow, we're getting nuts here.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean,
that's not an issue for me.
He sounded weird.
Yeah, I could see how he might have made that weird. See, if I'm not, I feel like if I was a lady, I would be that kind of lady, but I would just...
You'd be a beef to mouth kind of lady.
At some point, I would have curbed his drinking, because if I'm like, yeah, sure,
yes,
I'm going to take your virginity, and we're going to go stay in a hotel, and this is going to be a fun, different kind of thing, but just don't ball everywhere, man.
Yeah, but she probably was equally wasted and... You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you're with Hot Dog at a game all day. You're hammered. You know?
Right.
This is a hammered...
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. I get it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm picturing just, like, generic lady, and I don't mean this as a criticism of Hot Dog at all, but this is, like, Hot Dog's friend.
Yeah.
She's probably, like, good, you know,
she's all right.
a good time, too. Right.
She's a nice lady.
Right. Well, good for him. That's great, and may he have much more fucking in the days and years to come.
I think it's gonna be an orgy from here on out.
Fuck bonanza.
Anthony, welcome to the show. Hey.
Hey. Yeah, I know, dude.
How old were you? Yeah. Well.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Yeah, that's right.
Cross that bridge when I come to it.
But I'm glad you survived.
If it only happens while you're taking medication, then you're probably fine. But if it starts happening when you're not medicated or anything like that, definitely go get a prostate check.
There you go.
Okie dokie.
Thanks, Anthony.
That was the first thing that happened to me as I pissed myself one day.
Wow.
Give me a doctor's appointment now.
All right.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Anthony. I gotta go. He's not gonna stop.
Duly noted. Point made, point taken.
He was not going to let you go.
Yeah.
He's just going to tell you.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to keep talking about butt cancer until you indeed urinated your pants in many years from now and got it. Hey, I don't know.
Sooner or later, something's going to be something. I'm pretty good about going to doctors and stuff.
I want robot legs.
I don't want robot legs. I like my legs. I think I'm going to be in a run with my kid. I'm trying to see if they'll let him be in it.
Wait, how far?
3 miles.
Fuck, how old is he?
6.
That's a fucking long way for 6, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if he can do it or not. We're gonna train.
Oh, 3 miles with those little legs. Fuck.
But he did
That's
like
so many steps.
He did like 1.5 miles when he was like 4. He's weird like that.
He did 1.5 miles where? Why?
We were at the park that he calls Tiger Park because of your son, because we saw your son there.
Oh, yeah.
There's a track there.
And he did laps.
He loved doing laps. What he really liked at the time is because they had that weird, that like ashy kind of shit that they have on the dirt of tracks. He liked kicking. He actually not only did he run like 1.5 miles, he kicked the entire time.
Yeah.
The entire time. And I mean, like the
adults
adults were like cheering him on. Like he loved it, and I would make us stop. And this would be after he'd played in the playground. So I think anything's possible. So there's like a 5K happening in our town, and I'm trying to figure out. There's a little kid race for 12 and under, and he's nowhere even close to 12. But we'd already had the conversation. I'm like, dude, we'll do like a marathon. Like you don't just run marathons over and over. We'll run a mile. We'll run 1.5 miles. We'll see how we're doing. We'll build it up. We'll see if we get close to it. And I was like, dude, you should not be able to do this. You'll for sure be the youngest guy in it. If you think you can't do it, you just go in the kid race. There's no shame in that whatsoever. You'll be little for that.
Yeah.
But I think he could do it.
Well,
I mean, I don't care. There's no pressure. I really just believe. I honestly believe that he can. I could be totally wrong, but
he isn't going to be sore in the morning either.
No, that's the other thing, right? No, he's going to want to go to the playground when he's done.
For him.
Yeah, enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy those legs while they're still the real non-robot ones.
Andrew, you've been on hold for a long time. What can I do for you? Casual.
Hey, bye. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks. And I think
Thank you, Andrew.
I think that is true, but I don't think it's like a steady line from one to the other. Like, I feel like the Jews kind of figured that out in like 3000, and that was about as far as it got for about 4,000 years.
Japanese dudes and girls look like they ate a pretty clean. They ran a clean game.
Yeah.
Is that just? I mean, they didn't know that it was germs, but
I think they're just anal.
Just ate right.
I think they're super anal retentive.
Just seems like, I mean, I wasn't there, and obviously there's probably no video, but I saw, I see pictures all the time, and I'm like, it seems like everyone's running a fucking tight ship in there, man. I don't know. Maybe it was a lot. Maybe it was a bunch of messy samurais. It was just like shit everywhere.
No. They're definitely like,
right?
getting their man bun just right and all that. Yeah, it's a very, very, very precise.
Which would make me feel like there's less germs when I see that kind of a way. You know what I mean? Like their room immaculate. Well, then you think there's going to be shit on their.
But I don't know. Are you cleaning with water or are you cleaning with soap?
Right.
There's a difference.
Right.
I have no idea. I really don't know.
Didn't they have soap before everybody? Because they like invented a lot of stuff like needles and shit.
I don't know.
They didn't invent soap.
I don't know if they invented.
Shut
soap.
up, Andrew.
I don't know who invented soap. They do have a lot of walls that are made out of paper, so I'm guessing they would have needed to replace those fairly regularly.
Yeah.
Those paper.
Oh yeah.
That's not a joke.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Who invented soap?
A formula for soap ancient Egyptians bathed regularly and combined animal and vegetable oils with alkaline salts to create a soap-like substance.
Fucking Egyptians. Geniuses. Wait, so that means that yeah, but that means who's the princess bitch? Cleopatra had a clean box.
Probably. I would assume so. Yeah. I would assume so. A lot of what happened...
Still could be like extra hairy on the sides, though.
Oh, almost definitely was.
Right, which
Certainly
sometimes can be flattering.
Yeah.
But lately, I've been checking out some amateur porn lately, and every now and then there's one where I'm like, "Ooh, you don't need to do that."
Now, once it gets on the legs, I've never been really attracted.
That's
to
pretty wild,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. I have to say, things were probably better for a lot of people in like the year 1000 than they would have been like 1500 years later, because Christianity and like the structure of Christianity, the popes and all that, really shut shit down. They got this thing in their head that like everything had been kind of figured out scientifically, and if you tried to figure out more stuff, then you thought you were like smarter than the Bible or something.
Yeah.
So that's where like the Dark Ages and shit comes from.
Right.
It's like Muslims kept learning stuff. Muslims kept a lot of the shit that they had figured out a long time ago alive, because the Christians weren't interested in, like, it was a really, really big deal, right? Michelangelo got like a dispensation from the Pope to be able to cut people open.
Yeah.
Nobody been allowed to cut people open in like over 1,000 years. Yeah. So Christianity, I don't know. I don't really blame Jesus for that exactly, but the structure of Christianity was pretty hell bent on ignorance. Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird what people thought was important to prioritize. Still is. Still really is.
Yeah, 'cause soap is fun, you know.
It's great.
It feels good.
Yeah. Well, I've been having this conversation with my wife because like I didn't shower. Oh, I had the weirdest BO from the Tamiflu. Once again, Tamiflu is like a recreational drug.
Oh yeah.
But not necessarily my favorite one.
Okay.
I couldn't sleep on it. It was really, really, and I thought it was just me. Apparently, they gave it to kids in England a few years ago, and like half the kids.
Yeah, they ban it.
Yeah.
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 It kills them.
It's kind of a thing. They all had like weird dreams and insomnia, and I had a lot of that too. But like, I feel like it's instinctive that when you're sick and you feel yourself coming out, that you really want to clean up. It's like your body knows it's like getting the old germs off of you.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's instinctive, because once again, people didn't really have this concept of germs until not that long ago.
Well, it sounds like they did have a concept of germs.
Yeah.
And then Christianity fucked it.
Yeah.
And now everyone's sort of back on the, clean is cool.
Yeah. I love it.
Science, man. Those scientists.
Uh-huh.
They really fucked everybody with the whole, don't do this hoogly boogly thing, It's just like...
Wait, what did science do?
They just shut everybody down on the don't do this, don't do that.
Like what?
I don't know, fucking smile and the wind blows, your face will stay that way. Just old wife bullshit,
But that's
scary.
not science, that's the opposite of science.
That's what I'm saying. Science shut down everybody's bullshit.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, they did.
You know what I mean? Because all of a sudden there's these things, well, it's like, look, dude, it really is proof of dinosaurs and stuff. And you're like, hey, that's not what I was told. It's like, well, I don't know. I mean, maybe all science is lying. I don't know the scientists personally.
Yeah.
Maybe the government is like, oh, we've got scientists and here's these big things. They're trying to attack the church. Maybe there is no dinosaurs. Have you ever seen a dinosaur, Michael?
All I know, well, they say that, like, birds are dinosaurs, right?
Yes.
And lizards, I mean, I don't know how you could look at a lizard. It's like a lizard's a little dinosaur.
He looks, I mean, if there was...
They are.
But then again, what if that was the case? Because remember when you first saw dinosaurs in movies, Michael, they were actually those little lizards, and they would like make you look little in the camera.
Tiny little rocks right.
Maybe we've never had dinosaurs. Maybe this whole thing's a hoax, Michael.
It's
Maybe
possible.
we're on a flat world with no such thing as dinosaurs.
Right, but the thing that like, everybody ultimately does have to. You can say whatever you say, and you can post whatever you want on Facebook, and you can believe whatever you want to believe. But just, man, I don't know a single person. There's so many people in our culture who would deny science, but not when it matters. When they get sick, give me science up my ass. That's what I don't get. Is like, look.
Well, some people deny science. We were talking this morning.
Very few, very few.
The
people
dude that made Apple denied science, right? He ate fruit and died.
That's true, and he died.
Fucked hard.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Most people, the vast majority, yes, and there are also people who are Christian scientists who, refuse medical attention and want to get, healed by snakes and stuff instead. There's definitely people who don't subscribe to science. I'm just saying a lot of people who are very skeptical of the scientific community can in the same breath go, ooh, I got this weird lump, let me hustle down to my doctor and let science figure out what it is so science can fix me.
I was just thinking about how you can wait a little too long and then things could get bad. Yeah. I follow Dr. Pimple Popper on Instagram.
I know you do.
And every now and then there's people that come in that have those lumps on them that are as big as half your fucking head.
I know.
That didn't grow overnight, dude.
Sure didn't.
So that meant it got past tennis ball status, and you didn't go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me that tons of people could die from fucking butt cancer because you ain't gonna tell shit. I mean, there was literally one on a lady's shoulder that I saw this morning that was as big as my fist on her shoulder, and I thought, and there's the video. They're cutting it out. It's over in half an hour. I'm like, how many years did it take to grow that?
Yeah.
And did it ever bother you? Did you ever?
Don't tell me it didn't bother you.
Right?
I used to have an aunt that used to. She got this growth on her cheek, and she smoked, and it was old school stuff, and she just used to put makeup over it. Like, I'm sorry. Every time you put makeup over that, you're not trying to fool me. You're trying to fool yourself.
Right?
You
just go.
Yeah. I know. I feel like the world has changed a lot very quickly in that regard. Like, I feel like we talk to like pretty like duty typical dudes, and I feel like that cliche of the guy who's like, hey, it'll be fine, John Wayne.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's I feel like the guys who listen to this show, like, they go to the doctor. If something's weird, they go to the doctor. Yeah. Maybe not first thing, but
I also think that we're not that old school. I feel the show, sure, we're a little older, but I think we're still a younger generation, a generation back that will notify a doctor. I noticed, and I could be wrong, but a lot of these particularly big lumps are people the next generation older than me. There was obviously, because I wasn't around for that generation, but there was obviously a full don't talk about it.
Oh
thing.
Yeah. But I feel like that is dying with that generation.
Right.
I feel like we are the next generation.
Well, they're dying fast from this technique.
Of course they are.
From just not. I mean, fuck, man. I know I'm like, what is it? What am I? That thing I always point out.
A narcissist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I couldn't live with it. You know what I mean? Like a giant lump on my forehead. There's another one. Kid's got a giant, like a nose of a pimple on his forehead. Now you're getting it cut off. It's your whole forehead is this fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you not go to the doctor immediately?
I used to go and keep stuff at a storage place, and the guy who ran it had these like icicles of flesh coming off of both of his elbows. And I was like, I didn't say it, but I'm thinking, and it was a husband and a wife, and I'm like, how does your wife let that fly? Like, I've never seen anything like that in my whole entire life. You gotta go to the doctor, dude.
And look, you just brought up that. I know some people are gonna be like, dude, this is disgusting, but I follow it. Some of them are really gross, but I like watching pimples pop. But there are things where there's that on there, and the fucking doctor's literally talking to the guy and just goes, "Pink," and then thanks for coming. You fucking idiot! You just had that dangling off your head for 10 years. Your wife, your kids, everyone's like, oh god, that thing for God knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
And pink. So I feel like watching those videos, if I was to have something, I'd be way more inclined to go faster than I would have from not watching those videos.
Yeah.
Because when I see some of them, I think, man, that guy's going to die when they cut that out. And then I watch the video and I'm like, oh, he was awake.
Yeah.
They just went, snap.
I was so happy.
Thank you.
When I went and closed out my account at this place, the guy had Band-Aids on his elbows.
Oh,
and
he did
I was
it.
like, oh, thank God, finally! I've been coming here for like 4 years.
No.
I'm just glad to know that this is where we leave it. I can leave here with peace.
I mean, even like, I don't know. Maybe I could just do it myself. I would go if they were that big and dangly, and I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Maybe just I can get Jimmy.
I don't
grab a couple
myself,
beers, get Jimmy to cut it off.
I know.
Like fucking just go for it, Jimmy. Fuck, and then that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a guy calling his arm is falling off. Wait, James, your arm is falling off. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, I missed the first part. This happened in one shot, right? Yeah. And then you went. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're one of the guys that. So you have a job, right? Yeah. And because you. Right, and you pay for a subscription for SiriusXM, so you have like a job, but your arm got torn off and you didn't go to the doctor, so you just walked around with that didn't work. What was the theory when you woke up in the morning? What was the reason that made you not go to the doctor that next day? Because you would have been pretty sore the next day, right? But you didn't think. Did you think that this arm? What about after a week when it didn't heal? But you just said that you got to put food on. God damn it! You just said you want to put food on the table, but you only got one arm now. Wow.
Okay. Okay. Everybody's a little bitch, but you're telling me that in the course, a year later was, in all honesty, the first time you could line up your ducks to take time off?
Well, I actually renegotiated my contract so I could take the time off and still be paid.
So.
I set myself in a position where I could get the medical attention I needed.
Gotcha. So your children would have done without food if you had taken some days off at any time prior to that in the year? Yeah.
Right, but let me. Can you answer this? Answer me this. Do you think at all that you didn't go to the doctor because you're a little bit scared of going to the doctor? Did that have anything to do with the equation? Bet you it's not funny. Go for it. Yeah, that's hilarious. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about getting back into stand-up now after that phone call.
Yeah, that's how you construct the thing. You know, set up, payoff.
Right. Yeah, okay, thanks, Mark. Because that's my biggest problem when I do stand-up is I don't know how to set up a punchline. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a magic trick almost. With
Next
words.
thing you know, my face got ripped off and my jaw was broken. Dad said, "That's what you get for riding three-wheelers."
Dummy.
Boom. Netflix special. Coming my way.
So what?
I might even boastfully say I'm so fucking good, I'll start off with the punchline, Michael.
Oh, and
like Dave
backwards?
Chappelle, yeah.
Does he do that?
He didn't see Dave Chappelle's special?
Nope.
He's 2 specials on Netflix.
I know he put 2 out. I believe one of them was in the tiny little belly room at the.
Yes, it was.
The comedy. That's awesome.
Okay. Man, he is an obnoxious cigarette smoker. Like he does not give a fuck.
I know.
And it's like, man, you don't. Do you need that? It's only half an hour.
At a certain point, I guess you just start using him as a prop. You know?
Well, he ain't propping.
Yeah.
He got it. He vape penned the first special. And he's fucking hitting it too. And it's weird because you can't really talk when you hit the vape pen. So he kind of like, it's a weird dynamic to watch. He's got one hand on a mic, one hand with the vape pen, and it's sort of, he's still able to tell these stories, but it's like he's in the middle of telling you a story before he sits down and starts a radio show, but he never sits down and puts the shit on. He just keeps like taking his backpack and taking stuff out, and then that's the special. Do you know what I mean? Like it's this weird, and it's like, and it's a thing where it's like even someone in the crowd says, "Give me a hit of your vape pen," because it's this fucking thing in his goddamn hand, and it's a ring around his finger. Yeah. So it's like stuck on his hand, and it's just it's a 1-2 punch. The microphone and fucking microphone. I'm like, man, because you sometimes you go vape pen, and then you hear his comedy again. You know what I mean? Because it's literally steered me off a couple times. So I'm like. Yeah. Man, that thing, he is hard for that thing.
Man, you're making me want to watch these specials.
Well, at the same time, it's very funny, though. But he does have a joke where he said, "I'm so funny, so smart that I just pull out a punchline out of a big bowl and make a joke around it." So, this is not working at all. This is what I'm doing. As I said, but now I'm back out of stand-up once again. I was in and then I was out. Yeah, I got to do that. Give that guy the VIP line. He can write me some shit. Hey, Aaron. Welcome to the show. Yeah, look, when it comes to things like that, I'm like that too. Like, I guess a couple of times I've had to be way more professional because if somebody, it was kind of like more if my sponsors found out that I wasn't rehabbing my injuries, that I'd be in trouble. So I would go because I hated rehab. But if you can still use your arm, it's a little bit different, man. If I've got because I've got shit that I know if I had the money and the time, all my shit should be cleaned up. You know what I mean? I would for sure go get my knees cleaned out, my fucking shoulders. But I'm not doing that because I can still survive with it. It's fine. But I'm talking about you know, things that might be trouble. Like I can't, if there's a big lump on my shoulder, I gotta go. Even if I don't care about lumps on my shoulder, what about the people that I love? I owe it to them to go say, hey doc, what's up with this fucking thing growing on my shoulder? Just in case. That's all I'm saying. I feel like I get the, you know what I mean? I can beat anybody call in right now on the dumb, oh, my fucking arm's broke. I've broken my arm so many times and not going to the doctor because I've broken my arm so many times I know when it's broken, and I wear a fucking wrist guard, or fucking, I stole fiberglass from a doctor's office once and I made my own fiberglass cast. Like, it's all, but if you have like a lump, or my, you know what I mean, I fucking fart my piss out all the time, you gotta go ask.
Everybody knows who they are. If you're not going because you can't afford to go and you're hoping maybe it'll just go away on its own, I know people like that. I believe you. If you can't go because you legitimately can't get away from work, like I know people like that. I believe you. But there's definitely a class of guy who will offer you an excuse for not going. Right. It's just a fucking excuse.
I also feel like, as I've got older and wiser, there has been times where if I really stopped and thought about it, and thought about the longevity of what's going on with this particular illness or injury, then the decision becomes easier. And I feel like, as a person that has in the past not done that, you know, if I'm like, oh fuck, it's fucked, and that's the end of it, because you know what I mean, I couldn't sit down for an hour and go, what about if I did this? What about if I did this? All, you know, because there's many options in life. There's many options when you have a problem. Often, I don't know about everybody else, I would assume a lot of people are all kind of similar. I will not put that hour in. You know, I'll just be like, I've done it before. Man, when I was probably 24, my shoulder used to come out all the time. And it just came out maybe 2 or 3 times in a week, and then it wouldn't stop coming out. And I went and saw a doctor, and you know, and they were like, you know, this is back before they did surgeries and stuff. And he was like, you can never skateboard again. You know what I mean? And I remember crying, you know what I mean, in a train to work, and then telling somebody the story, and them looking at me like, what the fuck is who gives a fuck if you can't skateboard again? And me going, like, trying to understand the other world out there that could not understand my situation. But at any time, I didn't say I could go see another doctor. I could go see a sports therapist, a specialist. My brain did not. I just started crying and thought, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And then maybe a week later, I was like, you know what? I'll fight this thing mentally. I'll lift weights. I don't know. It was, you know, I mean, it was the best I could do. So it was like, I had a shoulder that would come out a lot, yeah. And then I got lucky and kind of babied it, and maybe it didn't come out for a year, and then, you know, it didn't. But I didn't get it. I didn't tend to it like you should.
But dude, the world has changed so much just in our lifetime. Yeah. When I look at what goes on with athletes, guys used to, like, there's a very, very good basketball player, DeMarcus Cousins, who just, I think, tore his Achilles tendon, and they're saying if he plays again, he will probably never ever be the same guy. And I can't really remember the last time that I heard that. When I was a kid, that was just a thing that happened. Is your team would bring up some pitcher, and you'd be like, oh wow, this guy's going to be the guy who's going to be our awesome pitcher, who's going to take us to the World Series. And then they go, nah, he blew out his elbow. You'll never say goodbye to that guy. You will never see him.
Wait, they said that this guy, you won't see him again?
No. But like, that was in my lifetime of rooting for baseball in like the 80s. Guys would get hurt, and their careers would just be.
Oh, you're saying this guy he will be back?
Well, this guy, the one article that I read, he's like 28. He's a very tall and just a big guy, even for being a tall guy. They said the history of players who've had this sort of injury, nobody ever really gets back to the same level that they were at. And I just made me realize you don't hear that very often. That used to be a very commonplace thing. It used to be, you know, I remember reading a book about Japanese baseball. There was a guy who had shoulder soreness, And so he was standing under some sacred waterfall every day, getting ice cold water on his shoulder because that was going to fix it.
Yeah.
That's my lifetime, you know? So I don't blame you for feeling that way because that was the way that we saw things. I can remember kids in Little League, before we were even teenagers, being like, see that bump on my elbow? Started throwing curveballs too soon. Elbow shot. Like that was just, that was like and they said it because it made them feel like grown-ups. Because having, yeah. Yeah, they take a ligament out of one of your elbows and they put it in the other one, and you just keep chucking.
Yeah, I don't know. But people still like. I feel like tennis elbow is like a thing that you can get fixed, but everybody just has it and they say they have it. It's kind of like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
You know, you might end up taking Advils every day for the rest of your life, so you don't go. But you like I know some fighters and some other athletes, even some retired fighters and athletes that have injuries from working their body so hard, where because they have the time now, they'll go in and get it cleaned out, and they won't be dealing with this nagging injury for the rest of their lives because they've had so many. They now know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the how much they can do these days. But if you're just, you know, what I mean, Grandma Mary, who's like back has just been fucking with her for 15 years. You're not even checking it out.
No, you don't just go get scoped for the fuck of
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even getting scoped. You don't say scoped when you're in your 70s.
No,
you don't know.
Grandma never got scoped.
Yeah. Yeah, like I got my hip doesn't well. My back is like always sore. I know what that is. There you go. Wow. I have one. Mm-hmm. I'm not going because I know that I'm not ready to hear you need a hip replacement. I'm not going in for it. I have a very satisfied wobbling and when I jump, you know what I mean, like one leg obviously is more powerful than the other. Like when I did the cross training with Speed of Sport guy, it was so obvious how buckled I was. Like he was just fixing a dead leg because it's attached to my hip. The hip is done, so I could go and be like, "Hey man, like, give me that whole new thing." But I'm like, dude, I don't know. I want someone to rip my fucking bones out of my ass. That sounds terrible.
Right. And you're not planning on using it quite like you used to either, and that's a factor as well.
Okay, yeah, good point. But I feel like if you went now, I don't know. You know, see, like you saw Hulk Hogan. You seen him walk around? That's not good. You seen him waddle?
You have mentioned several times that
you haven't seen it, have you?
Not in person. I feel like you saw him one time, and it left this indelible mark on your.
Well, Hard Rock corridors, as you know, down. You know, I mean, past the coffee, it's wide, and he had. I mean, I had plenty of time to see him, you know, scope him in and walk in, and his knees and hips are gone.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
He's not running.
No, well, apparently he's.
I mean, he kind of walks like Elton John, dude.
And yet, you know, he is still going to take another fall in a ring at some point in his life.
See, that's I don't know. Oh, that's right.
But I'm saying,
how many years ago was that? Right, which means when I saw him, it was longer than 2.5 years ago.
He was still in his racist prime.
Yes, and he was as crippled as a motherfucking racist has ever been.
But like, look, even having not participated in WWE stuff for a few years, I'm sure he's done some kind of.
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like if he walks into stage, dude, all the fans would know. That's how crippling it was. Like you would know if you watch it on TV.
I'm sure he's been.
If he fucking put his legs over the rope, you go, "Oh my god!"
No, I'm sure he has been in a ring, being like, "Let me tell you, brother," like not wrestling, but like yelling at somebody.
Andrew, has he? Right, because it's very noticeable, Michael. It's I mean, what about that court case where he won billions of dollars? Did they show him walk into court?
He's moving better. He's had just a number of surgeries.
Okay, well maybe, dude, I don't know. This shit that I saw, I don't think there was a surgery that's fixing that right now.
I bet he falls over. I bet he falls over in a ring at least one more time.
I think if he comes in the ring one more time, it's on his knuckles. I mean, those things are gone, dude. He is a lizard man.
Yeah.
It's a tail. His legs is a tail. Oh!
and thinks that he could come back into the ring at some point. Now, not to like wrestle a full match, but could he run out there or hobble out there for a Royal Rumble appearance?
Without using his arms, yes. I believe DDT Yoga could be... Okay, that's good. That's a good sign. There's still hope. That'll be proof. Because that's first hand for me. Make him walk normal, and I will do DDT Yoga every day for the rest of my life. Danny, welcome to the show. A lot of people call the show again.
It's nice.
Huh.
Hey, hi, Denny.
So yeah, I had a tip on the tip of my dick. No bullshit.
Yeah.
And when it started off like really small. At first I thought maybe a pimple, so I was just kind of washing up and whatever. I mean, I take a shower every day, but I just kind of thought.
Did you try and pop it?
Yeah, you're just nasty. I get it.
Yeah, it just gets nasty every day.
Yeah.
Never white man or never could pop it, and it took just happened that I lost a job, so the insurance was out, and then I got a job a couple months after the insurance was covered. When I went in, it was starting to get big, so I went in to see exactly what it was, and they officially said, "Oh yeah, it's a cyst." So I was kind of nervous about it because I was like, "Holy crap, does this happen? Do you get this on your dick?" So for a while there, they couldn't find a proper insurance to take over it to get it up removed. So at one point, I just told the doctor, "Look, man, if you guys can't do it, I'm gonna like accidentally hit something and kind of get rid of it myself." And they just kind of gave me the don't do that, don't do that.
Hit something? You mean like you were going to hit your dick with a hammer and then go into urgent care?
So stuff like that, like I just wanted it removed off my dick.
Did you have sex with this thing?
No, it was. I have a wife. She was kind of freaked out about it. So was I.
Oh.
Even having it, even looking at it, it was.
So gross.
Well, thank you for calling us with this unresolved tale. Of
Wait, it's still there? It's still there? Oh.
But we finally got it removed. But it was growing pretty big. It was probably about the size of I don't know, the back of the top of a pin, the circle rim.
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
That big, but yeah, it was kind of like it was just horrible.
And how'd you get rid of it?
They had to do a surgery.
Oh.
So I have a foreskin, and like when you pull back, like it was just kind of hiding back there. So it was kind of odd.
I gotta go. Oh.
Poopy.
Oh. You know, it does work. Remember I had that thing in my chest I wanted to get it cut out, and I was like, hey, you guys want to cut it out? And they're like, yeah, well, maybe at this date. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not doing that. I'll just cut it out.
Yeah.
What's the best way to cut it out? And they're like, wait, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm here. Alcohol, razor blade, right? Just get it out. And they're like, we're going to make you an appointment tomorrow. Because they could tell I was deadly seriously going to do it. But thank God they made the appointment. Because even the dude pulling it out found it to be difficult. Chuck, welcome to the show, Chuck.
Thank you, Jason. Hey, you guys were talking about Hulk Hogan, and you remember when he got busted for using the N-word everywhere? And
Yep.
off the WWE page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now they talked about him on the WWE at the Raw 25, and he's been shown back up on the WWE page.
Uh-oh.
Well, he said a bad thing, and he's paid a price for it. And
He went to racist rehab, right? Like
That's
everybody
right.
else on this channel?
yeah, he was a racism addict, so he needed to
No, they did.
fight his, which is a disease.
He paid. That's right. He paid the racist fine, went to racist rehab, and now he's fine. I mean, sure, he still uses racism from time to time, but now he's
Yeah.
seen that
He has
Keeps
racism,
it to himself.
but racism doesn't have.
That's
him.
right.
You see that guy who allegedly groped Taylor Swift got a job as a DJ at a radio station. So everybody gets rehabilitated. That's
Yeah.
the guy.
I know. This channel's fucking living proof.
Yes, exactly. You just
Fucking Hitler's on here.
just
You can do whatever the hell you want. Just come back. Fuck it.
get in trouble.
Change my mind.
Take a vacation.
They're not really animals.
Ride it out.
Yeah.
And everything will be fine.
Okay, so I'm seeing Andrew's like going through a bunch of video of Hulk Hogan, and they are not. Sorry, I watch a lot of Mari. Use it showing video of him walking. They'll show.
No, he just hopped right out of the chair on.
He can stand up, Michael. It's watch him step.
Hopped up. The beginning of this video was him. Oh, look at him walking. There he's walking.
It's one step.
They showed him walking into. So he's at a wax
museum. Hey, do you see that wobble? Do you see that wobble?
He's at a wax museum, and everybody thinks they're with the wax Hulk, but they're with the real Hulk. And he's giving a big speech about, let me tell you, brother, I'm the waxiest motherfucker you ever met.
Yeah, which is crazy because he's the most.
He drives in.
Yeah, watch it.
Oh, look at it! Look. Ooh.
I'm telling you,
he appears to be walking around the museum.
I told you he walks, but they're not filming his legs. It's all from the top up. They won't show his legs, and I know why.
Why would they do a long shot on him? I just want to see the pythons.
You can't show him take a step. Show me anybody out there. Show me new video of him walking.
They did speed up the video a little bit of him walking.
Yeah, and
they do that a lot in like montage things. I'm not disputing.
It's not
that.
even. It's beyond rickety. It's.
I'm not saying he's not. It's
knee clacking, about to hit the ground. Hell,
he is.
He should be in a razor.
Well, he is everything that you could possibly do to create a 60-year-old man with horrible hips and knees.
Yeah, I didn't say that he does have a good reason. I'm just saying he has it.
And he's still getting around, and I bet you he gets slapped in the face and falls over at least one more time in his legendary Hall of Fame career.
I mean, if he falls over, he's going to make sure his shoulders
hit
the ground before his
up.
hips do.
And he will get back up.
Everything he filmed, sitting down.
He's talking to a Boston Marathon bombing survivor.
He's
supposed to go jogging with her.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's poorly chosen.
Okay, we'll be back with new stuff, different stuff.
That was not on purpose.
Sure, I think cameras. Extra cameras for the. I'm assuming they're doing their rap battle standing, or are we limiting John's movements so he doesn't intimidate Andrew?
So Jude's going to walk over first. They're going to bring up this studio on their board over there and pot it up. John's going to walk over as well. On the Jason Ellis page, Kevin?
What's up?
The 2 tracks?
Yep.
So we can just perform the 2 tracks.
Rap battle, Andrew versus John. Sweaty palms. Anticipation of battle.
The brilliance.
Yeah, for sure what it is.
Cheese? I thought these would be empty like bread.
Very thin amount of cheese.
I think they're just called
Goddamn
Sorry.
fucking Cavino. Fucking dicks.
nothing better than cheese. Oh, Billy. This is non-GMO, no carb.
Man, just to know shit like that while you eat that, is it really? I mean,
I'm
just let it go and eat the goddamn.
I'm kidding. I don't care. I'm just fucking eating them.
Do I look like I care? Don't answer that. So bad. This is terrible.
Yeah, birds. Keep this floating there in their window.
long as they want to talk about the right side, we're good.
Is this for after news?
Yeah. If the depending on how the timing, it's just that's the latest batch.
So did you say Jude's coming in first? When's he coming in?
And then should be like 5 minutes from now.
I think I'll just start recording now. Sorry if I just start recording now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh my goodness.
Now my shoe's coming off. Man, this is a calamity. Sorry, I had my foot like looped right when you started rolling.
When do you think we'll have Jude?
I should be walking in about 25 after.
Okay.
This summer, it's OCD Kenny versus the refrigerator. And OCD has never been so funny.
Every time I close the refrigerator, I just have to mash it against it just to make sure it's closed. But then it turns out I didn't close it all the way. My sister got pissed. Turns out I let all the cold air out, and the fridge didn't work for like a whole day.
God damn it, Kenny, you left the fridge door open again!
Every time, I just have to close the door and just like ram my shoulder against it like at least 5 times just to make sure.
You ram it. Would that also apply to, say, celery?
I haven't had celery in a while because I'm more of a spinach guy. But
That's real.
Yeah.
What about the freezer? Will you ram the freezer if you get some ice out of the freezer?
Yes, yeah.
DMX is heading home.
Yeah, jail, right?
That's right.
Yeah, everybody keeps posting photos. I thought he died when there's all these photos. It's weird that it's a big deal that he's going back to jail. I don't understand why everyone gets to post a photo. Or, I don't understand. I mean, he took drugs?
He is on probation, and I think he was supposed to remain sober
Good.
as a condition of his probation in a tax evasion case. The judge ruled he was a flight risk after testing positive for opiates and cocaine and oxycodone, which that's an
Isn't that an opiate?
Yeah, I agree.
Just trying to make him look bad? Name him Mole?
Yeah. Right, he was supposed to be completing rehab while he was out on bail in this tax evasion case. He'd been given some leeway to travel for performances of late, and it was during the course of one of those travels that he was videotaped in a St. Louis airport bar, drinking and buying shots for other patrons. When your attorney is like, yeah, man, he's got to go to rehab. You know, when your attorney isn't even like, what are they talking about? This is an outrage. They must have mixed the samples. When he goes, yeah, X got a problem. We know this about DMX. He still looks the same.
I disagree.
I know that he's got a gray beard and he looks ashen and stuff like that.
I saw him live not that long ago.
Mm-hmm. The photos look remarkably, all of his mugshots through the years look like the same guy getting mugshots.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. I feel like this could be it.
Why this one?
I don't know. Just, I guess I could be wrong. I guess people just take drugs and live forever. I just feel like you can't be. That's such a weird. You're not hiding it at all.
No, he's not. He's not. It's for lack of.
What is that?
For shorthand, it's like he's punk rock. Like the guy that he was when he showed up was the guy that he really is, and he can either change or he can just keep being true to whatever the hell he is. And I know he's addicted to drugs, so the reason why he keeps on going back to them is obviously not because he wants to keep it real, but because he's a drug addict. And I think it's fairly obvious from most clearly from that one clip where he was talking about never knowing his mom and the ex saying mommy, that there's some deep issues there. Like most tough guys, it's just the outer shell to protect the warm gooey candy center.
Just I don't know. Like just contain his ass to get wasted secretly, or I don't know. I guess I shouldn't feel sorry for him. Bad guy doesn't take care of him. I don't fucking know. I really liked him, and I going to jail all the time. I don't really see the point in this. Like, what are we doing here? Can you just let him do drugs? I mean, as long as he doesn't commit crimes while he's doing the drugs, is that him?
I agree. Well, remember though, this is probation for tax evasion.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, did he really evade taxes, or did his management evade taxes?
Well, you're responsible for paying taxes.
Good point.
I agree. I think if you can't just send him to jail for being on drugs. I think he should get a waiver for that.
Yeah.
I feel like we sort of worked that
out.
Yeah,
if he evades more taxes, but
of course. If he's driving on the drugs, if somebody
else
is driving him and he's just on drugs, just let him go.
Yeah, if he's buying shots at everybody at the airport, then DMX bought me a shot at the airport. He's bringing joy to the masses.
I think he brings joy wherever he goes. When I saw him, now this is 10 years, maybe not 10 years ago, but outside of Sirius XM in New York, he had gone outside, upstairs, and done a bunch of press, and then he went downstairs and outside, and this is like hardcore Rockefeller Center, Midtown Manhattan. He was just in the street, and he had his SUV blaring music, and he was just dancing in the street, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, that's DMX!" And he's just like, "Yeah, what's up, dudes? Let's fucking X gonna give it to you."
He will. He'll give it to anyone
at any time. He wasn't hurting anybody.
We should start a free DMX.
Like, what do you think he really, honestly, truly... I know when he gets sentenced, he's going to say, well, so what? I'm going back to jail. Yeah. What, do you think I care? But do you think deep down inside he does care? Because I think maybe he doesn't.
No, I think he likes not being in jail more than being in jail.
Okay.
Otherwise, he would just get drunk immediately and go back in.
Right?
That's
true.
Because it wouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah.
I feel like he... why can't you just let him be wasted?
So right, so... He doesn't want to go to jail, but he's unwilling to lift a finger to not go back to jail.
Yeah, because they're like, well, look, like you said, you tax evasion, you're not allowed to drink anymore. What? Let him drink.
Right.
He'll pay the taxes back. I mean, he's DMX. How can he not be buzzed on stage?
Yeah, exactly. How's he going to deliver another legendary DMX performance if you're going to let him get shit canned? Word will get out that X is sober and no one will come to the shows anymore. This is a vicious circle we've got here.
It's like banning Cheech and Chong from smoking weed when they, you know what I mean? It's like that's
When
who
they
they
perform.
are.
Right.
He smokes crack. For real, son. Not bullshit crack. Real crack.
Yeah, he's not smoking crack to impress you.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll say, don't do it, kids, but I'm doing it.
Yeah. Well, I see what it said. That you think this is a game?
It's not a fucking game.
It's not.
It's not.
No.
He says it. He says it real clearly before the game.
Yeah.
This is not! So, you had your chance.
Speaking of things that are hip-hop and not a game.
Yeah. Oh, okay, everybody. It's about to get bad. It's real. I'm not really that aware of exactly what's going on, but we're going simulcast right now. Once again, the Jude Show and the Jason Ellis Show combining together on both channels. That means 45 and 103 will be in sync, synergizing, if you will. Corporate people love to synergize, and we're going to be synergizing in a battle of the ages, because this time, as you know, one of the bigger rap battles we've ever had was, of course, John from the Jude Show versus Andrew from the Jason Ellis Show. But this time, apparently, instead of a freestyle battle, they have written their own songs, and they have their own DJs, and they will both perform their song live to each other. And everybody that is calling, apparently the Jude Show, all the people from the Jude Show will be calling to represent John in voting and spreading the message on who is the greatest rapper in radio. And so I'm counting on the 855 Ellis 41ers to be... Wait, is that the number?
855-355-4741. 855 Ellis 41.
Oh, yes. Makes no sense. Anyway, yeah, that number if you want to vote for Andrew to win. But as I was saying to Andrew, because Andrew was like, look, we're going to get people to come in. The show's going to call and represent me because the Jude Show is going to represent John. But for me, I only want honesty. Like if you...
Wait, why are you laughing?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, that makes sense. Honestly, you're not going to get any good rap out of this.
Well, what do you mean? Bullshit, we're not going to get good. I think that both your rap battles were excellent in, a really stupid way, and that's what this is going to be. But there still will be a concisive winner. I know there will be, without hearing it.
The concern, though, is that the freestyles is one thing. John and I have now had a couple weeks to work on our own lyrics.
Yes.
And I'm not sure that they move ahead of the freestyle lyrics that we came up with on the fly.
Why would they? I don't expect it to move ahead of anything.
Okay, as long as your expectations are low.
Yeah, I think you're both fucking terrible. This is the point. What the fuck? Why would you think that my expectations are high?
I'm not sure. I just want to make sure everybody's on the same
Why
level.
would anybody that is familiar with your fucking freestyle get high expectations from you and John battling each other?
Okay. Tell me something.
Man, he is really... I'm telling you, I'm a bit weird on this, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. I have something in my stomach right now. I'm going to throw up.
Oh, man.
This is how Eminem felt before he puked up spaghetti.
If anybody wants to see this, it's I live on YouTube. You can see it right now. I've filmed it all.
Do some or all of your lines rhyme with each other?
We try to.
Okay, well, there you go. So it's already better than a freestyle.
Good point.
Do you think that you will ever start a line and get halfway through it and then completely fall silent because you have no idea what to say?
No, because I'll just read the next line.
Right. So you see, these are the improvements that we are counting.
200% better already.
But I also know I put in a word there that I'm going to stumble over without a doubt. Is in one of my lyrics.
Is it an F word or an N word?
It's osteoarthritis.
What? Dude, I don't want to hear. Okay, please stop talking about
your previews.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen.
Just a tease.
That's going to be in his song.
Wait for that word.
Yeah. I won't wait for it. Oh.
But yeah, so John and I spent some time, and so has John, looking up the best rap diss tracks, and then we wrote our own lyrics to said songs. So you're going to recognize. I know everybody will definitely recognize John's song. I think my song is equally recognizable as one of the more well-known diss tracks that exist out there.
Hey, you're talking about the bait?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that doesn't mean anything.
Well, it might help.
I'm
the
not
lyrics.
listening. It won't. It won't help. Nothing can help you two.
So are you? I'm trying to figure out what your Weasley angle is, right?
I know, because that was the bit I wanted to get back to.
I feel
is he took me aside to tell you, the listener, to be ready to call to bring your support, Jason Ellis show support, because John's going to be cheating and bringing the Shade 45 support.
So the first time we did this, they teased on Jude's show, call Ellis's phone number so you can vote on this rap battle for like 15, 20 minutes before they came on.
Yeah.
We didn't do that, so therefore our phone lines, our listeners were trying to call in, but we already had full lines of Jude listeners.
Right, so you're saying the only reason you lost the first battle is because Jude rigged the phones. You
And
sound like
John
Donald
wrote,
Trump
And
right
John wrote lyrics ahead of time.
Dude,
wow.
Everybody is going to know if you are clearly better than him and a bunch of people call in to just say, oh, John blew him away, it's obvious what is going on. Don't worry about the callers, and frankly, don't...
I don't want to lose.
Listen, don't let that be your excuse.
I want you to lose.
Okay.
I believe that
You're
making
excuses.
Our callers are going to say what they really think. Jude's callers are going to say what they really think.
Yeah, they really will.
There's people who just don't like you, Andrew, and you're never going to win with them. There's people who just don't like John, and he can never win with them. But those people will basically cancel each other out.
Yeah, and also like, yo, dude, like,
I've never
Like
been more
this.
nervous, Jude.
you
Stop talking! I'm trying to... I kind of... Now you're so pathetic I want to help you again. Like, shut up!
I don't.
I feel
I
like
know, right? Because I went into look.
Disgust me.
He took me aside, Jude, and John. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, everybody
I
on
don't,
Shade
know,
45.
I don't even know if we're on yet.
Well, then maybe fuck you guys.
We are.
Are
Wait,
we
we are.
on?
Well, then I take that back. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Shade 45.
So he's telling me to tell everybody that listens to this show to call because he feels the only reason he lost the freestyle battle was because you told everybody on Shade 45 to call the show. And I don't agree to that. I think Andrew's a sore loser and a shit competitor because he's throwing out excuses before the thing even starts.
When you won, I was literally rooting against John because he was gonna have to wear a romper to work if he lost. And I thought that would have been funnier.
Yes, I agree.
That's fair.
So like you won, and then when I had nothing on the line for John to do if he lost, he won. So like, I'm not swaying it. And when the people that called in, they all know your phone number. My people don't even know the number.
It seemed like Andrew was
Good
really
point.
affected by it.
Excellent point, Jude. Of course, they spent a few minutes educating them on the phone number that we've been telling our listeners for 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, do you think that maybe you just fair and square lost?
I thought I did better in the first battle than...
Yeah, but it kept
the
going.
votes. Right. I understand it's 1-1.
Man, you're really losing it ahead of time.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
You're like making people hate you ahead of time.
See, that's what I was trying to say. I don't want you to win. You suck.
And that's John's job.
Yeah.
John was nervous. Like I feel like it was the same pep talk. Like I feel like we literally were having the
he's all bummed about it.
I just try to have a pep talk with John. I played him a bunch of different fucking rap battle songs, and he just.
No, I've got it. You make it sound as though I'm weak. No, I'm here to kill. They are in fucking trouble. Everybody's going down.
See this bullshit that he's doing, Andrew?
This Jude or John?
No,
both of them.
No, one's.
One
pretty
you
obvious.
give me
One
a
was
pep
speaking
talk?
fact, and one. See, that's the difference. I will to know that you've been coaching him with all these different songs. I've only told Andrew that he's terrible. That's the only coaching I've said. That you're both embarrassing. I can't wait to see how disgusting you both are.
Should have built him up.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't because that's how Andrew works. I know how to coach my guy. You coach yours.
Look, every time I'm supportive of him, he shits the bed.
Yep,
and
that's
then
what
every time I want him to lose, he wins. So I feel like he's very passive aggressive.
Well, I wouldn't know what Andrew reacts to when he's supportive because I've never supported him. But I'm just going to tell him he sucks and listen to this freestyle because look, it's not about us; it's about the fans.
So,
I was thinking we could flip a coin to see who goes first.
I think that's totally fair.
And then the winner gets to decide whether they want to go first or second.
yes, sure, we'll do this.
That's fine.
We'll do this Super Bowl style.
I have no money.
Neither do
Of
I.
course you don't have money.
I literally have no money.
I don't even have a wallet.
Oh my god.
I know there's a quarter in my car.
Here you guys. I got it. Wait, no, I don't.
You got any change? Hold up. All right, there we go. All right, Kevin.
Come on,
you
Kevin.
wanna flip it and let it land on the
Who's
ground?
calling
I'm
it?
gonna
Flip
call
it?
air.
You're calling it. You're the visitor here, John.
All right, ready?
Call it in the air,
Do
John.
it. Heads.
It is. It is tails.
Hey! I don't know why I care, but hey!
Do you want to go first, or do you want John to go first?
What would you suggest? I think John should go first.
Man, you gotta do something.
Jesus Christ.
John, go first.
Yourself.
Oh, there you go. That nice and
How do you
strong.
produce a show? You can't even produce a fucking answer.
What? Where's his song?
Jason Ellis page, top right.
This is it. This is a rap battle. This is the rap battle.
I mean, I guess this is it, right? Yeah. Fuck. This is nerve-wracking.
Thriller in Manila.
All right. You ready, John?
Do it. All right, just catching the beat. Goddamn, rapping again with this total schmuck. Makes sense though, since you're all talentless fucks. Finding material on the Weasel wasn't quick. Your half a dozen listeners didn't offer me dick. Still, the little I found made me weep. Kind of like when you're bent over, Andrew, and some guy's going balls deep. You've got this little girl bitch-ass musical taste. Heard you're banging Taylor Swift like a fucking panty waist. You think being tall is some sort of prize. Only thing that's good is for nutting in Pendarvis's eyes. Why don't you take credit for that massive fart? Such a spineless bitch. Your integrity is cheaper than Walmart. A real man would have dropped his pants, spread his cheeks, filled the room until it fucking reeks. Oh yeah, let's not forget about your basketball dream. Seems about as worthless as Kevin Kraft's self-esteem. Read somewhere WNBA practice players never get paid. Probably didn't sting as much as never getting laid. See Andrew coming, you know it's a bad day. No, hang on! Damn, the smell of failure in here is bringing me down. My underwear's got you beat even though it's kind of brown. And since we're here, who's left in the room, time once again to lower the boom. Some of Tully's stand-up bits probably seem clever. Most of his set, though, has the crowd looking to slit their wrists. Ellis keeps shouting that he's the next Howard, yet even he must know he leaves satellite and he'll get devoured. But back on the stammering pussy I'm here to destroy, what happened to you, man? Probably all that butt sex as a choir boy. See Andrew coming. Gonna be a bad day. This shit is done. This shit is done.
Okay. Okay. There's no way in fucking hell that you wrote any of that at
I
all.
did!
No, you didn't.
I did!
No,
I
you
did!
didn't.
You
I
did.
did!
You
I
did
did.
look up at the Walmart line like, I'm confused as to why this is there.
Yeah,
I fucking wrote that. I swear to
You
God.
wrote jokes.
I swear to God.
You wrote jokes that you didn't get as you were saying it.
I
No.
absolutely.
You were surprised by some of the.
I was surprised how fucking good they were and how sad you guys are.
Give me one
I can
verse.
see
Give
that.
me one verse from that song without the fucking paper.
Well, I can't. I wrote it.
You wrote it.
Yeah, I wrote it.
You can't remember one fucking verse without looking at the paper.
Something about his asshole. No, of course I wrote it. Of course I wrote it.
Shit.
Swear to God.
You got Eminem to write it. He got Jude fucking rapping about him. I see what happened here. You got some.
I didn't write shit for that. None of it. I didn't write shit.
I believe you didn't write it.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I had nothing to do with it.
The first person that helped you write the original
Right.
freestyle didn't help?
No, absolutely not. I would tell you. I would gladly give it up. That's all me. All the pain you're feeling is real.
You were kind of shaking your head like, what the fuck is that?
I know. I mean, come on. You were surprised.
Well, I was surprised by, again, how good it was. And how great it sounded.
Right.
And the flow was fucking tight. That's why I was surprised. I was shocked by how fucking great
You
that
could have
was.
put any beat under that rapping and it would have been the exact same.
Yeah. That's why, again, I'm going to win. Because I know what I'm fucking doing.
Okay.
Man,
It did have a sort of spoken word, like beat element to it. That I don't
beatless
literally
element
associate.
to it. Kind of lost the fucking. Anyway. Yeah. Andrew, are you ready?
Yep.
Greatest
I
rap
think
battle.
he's a little bit more confident now.
All right, here we go.
Oh, he's coming in with that.
Andrew, I'm running this rap success. John Matthews is scared shitless. His adult diaper's full of piss. My draws are clean and spotless. Watch John stumble clueless while I lyrically play chess. John, let's be honest. The game's over. Honestly, you'd look better with a makeover. Yeah, more convincing as a lady. That plus no chick ever wants to have your baby. That means your dick's dry until you cry. when you use that as lube to jerk it like a guy. But you got a micro dick that a hooker won't even lick. And I haven't even mentioned your chin yet. That's such an easy target, let's not forget. It sticks out like a sore thumb. When you walk in, it's already been there for 10 minutes, dum-dum. So go ahead, stupid, with your attack track. I imagine it'll be as weak as your back, because you have osteoarthritis, old man. And newsflash, you got hepatitis from a dude named Stan. So have fun tonight, sleeping on a couch, eating oat bran, while I fuck your bitch and watch C-SPAN. I'm Andrew, I'm running this rap success. John Matthews is scared shitless. His adult diapers full of piss. My drawers are clean and spotless. Watch John stumble clueless while I lyrically play chess. Yeah, your rap was cute, John, and mildly funny, but the pro's here now, and you got an upset tummy. Just don't puke on the ground and mess up your shoes. It's obvious with those you can't afford to lose. But my lyrical flow has got you shook, so much you probably need to open a book. But first, put on your geriatric glasses. You know the ones you use to stare at girls' asses? Because you're also a creep that I'm surprised hasn't got caught hanging outside of elementary schools saying that you brought candy for the kids. It's just around the corner. And then, surprise, you try to show them your boner. But it's flaccid, so run into traffic and be an organ donor. That'll have a positive impact on this planet because you got the charisma of granite. Yeah, you're a rock, so open your stink-ass mouth and enjoy my verbal cock as I finish in your throat and you make noises like a wounded goat.
Damn, John, Jesus Christ.
Oh, man, I mean,
Oh, fuck.
you can hear it in Jude's voice.
Oh, buddy.
I mean, the phones are lighting up with votes.
Hey, I don't even know the number. I was about to throw out my number.
Yeah,
Jesus
don't
Christ.
do that. 855 Ellis 41 is the number to call, and we will take votes from everybody on the phones. And
We won't say anything. You guys can.
That's right. There you go.
We're
We'll
not
take.
going to sway the vote one way or another. It's
Big black penis on the phone. Big black penis. You're on the air. Yep, you are.
Yeah.
And
His
there they go.
counts for devil.
Yeah.
That's one of mine.
Fucking damn right it is. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the show.
Look at that. Look at that. Mark it down. Mark it down.
That's one. One for John.
Did you actually think that you were going to get a call like that, John?
Absolutely.
You looked just as surprised from that phone call as you did of the lyrics that were coming out of your mouth.
I wrote it.
You did not. Jason, welcome to the show. Wow. All right.
Thank you.
John sat right there in the pocket.
All right, two for John.
Man. Hey, Cade. Hey.
3 for 3.
I feel like everybody who's calling is from the Jude Show.
No, I think they're all from. I think they're
That
all
ain't my
your.
guy.
Those are all your listeners,
don't we-
and they don't like. They don't like Andrew.
Why don't we ask them? Why don't we, after they vote, let's ask them who they're from.
Yeah, I'm
Junior, what show are you from?
Junior, what up, man? What show do you usually listen to, Jason or Jude? Okay, but like, who won it?
No.
All right.
Slightly tighter.
Hey.
Call your album match.
Get rid of this guy.
In his defense, that is kind of your style. That's your angle is that.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen. Robert, welcome to the show. All right. All right, there's Andrew.
I got
Thank
three
you.
votes to 2 for John currently.
You're not going to start calling anything rigged on it or anything, are you, John?
No.
I'm just going down the line.
I smell a rat.
Gino, what show are you from? I love this. Now it's like, what show are you from? We should play a football game against each other. Gino!
All right.
Who are you voting for?
That's right.
Okay.
He knows.
Okay. Fucking bullshit, but okay. Nick, welcome. Nick, welcome to the show. Hey.
Yep.
I didn't rap.
Yep. The name is John. Right.
He didn't say.
John. No!
That's sorry.
He didn't say.
Oh, see?
He said he listens to Jude and then hung up.
Over here. This is how you do it.
Did you tell him there was going to be a rap battle, or is it just like, hey, we're leaving? Check this number out.
20-minute fucking tease for this shit.
David, welcome to the show.
Ah!
That's a good point. I mean, especially that Howard Stern thing. I'm thinking about writing a battle myself. I mean, I think I do okay outside of serious, but hey, don't fucking try to reverse it. You fucking said it, right?
Hey,
you ain't getting out of it. I'll remember that for the rest of my fucking
life. John, you wrote that line about Howard?
Of course I did.
Okay. All right.
I believe it. No.
See how upper management likes that. Attacking the big stars.
Come on.
John, welcome to the show. Ooh,
it's tied now, right?
It's tied.
Yeah.
Well, how deep are we going here?
I guess we'll go to 10, huh?
Do you want to if it goes to 10 and it's even, do you want to rap battle it out?
Not really.
Hey, Jason in Baltimore. Yeah, what show do you listen to?
Damn it, I'm from Maryland.
See? He snapped your arm like a bitch.
Fuck Baltimore.
Is that it? Wait, fuck where you're from because of that one guy?
Oh, I'm from Maryland, not Baltimore. God damn.
Wait, isn't that in Baltimore?
Yeah. Well, Baltimore's in Maryland.
Oh, sorry, I'm Australian, so.
Terrible city.
Amanda, a lady's opinion. Yeah, well, that's the fucking point, Amanda. But anyway, who won out of the worst rappers alive? Yeah. There it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
5.
All right, so that's fine. Do you want one of these guys to pick the line or some shit, or are you just going in any order? Or
oh, wait.
For the tiebreaker.
Okay, yeah. You touch a button.
Yeah, go ahead. You pick whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see.
Yeah, he can't even
Oh,
see.
you just
I didn't
touch this line of buttons. There's buttons.
There we go. We got a caller.
Donald, welcome to the show.
Okay, it sounds like.
Fuck!
Yes! Fuck you!
Damn it!
Fuck you!
Ah!
Oh, damn it!
False. Because again,
now, Andrew, you said that you thought Donald
sounds like an Ellis listener.
like an Ellis listener.
Yes.
Now, what are you basing that on?
Oh, his name. Donald.
What is it about the name Donald that seems like more Ellis? Oh, I see.
We've never had a
wow.
Donald once.
Really?
Oh, man.
Donald Driver never called.
Donnie's Don.
I've had a big black
Glover.
penis call in a bunch of times.
Well, maybe Big Black Penis is your guy.
No, it's not. I'm just making that up.
Damn, John.
I
You
feel
lost.
this. I know. This is terrible.
Right, but
And I did write it.
The guy that wrote it for you is going to be extra pissed.
See, but again, that is a testament to how fucking good it was and how rigged this whole shit is.
Okay, hell
but the good news is, this allows us to do it again. Because if we just lock each of these guys in a room for like an hour where we can keep tabs on them so that we know that they are actually writing it by themselves, then we'd actually have a fair rap battle, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just give us each the same track, and we have to spend an hour in a
Yeah.
studio and come up with something and bring it back.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. John, are you?
Yeah.
The 1 hour challenge.
Glad to do that.
Close your eyes. You're insane right now.
I'm intense. This is serious.
Fuck.
All right, look, 888. Can I call out my things because I want my callers to call in after when we run over there.
Yeah.
888-742-3345. We want your feedback on the rap battle, gentlemen. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being on here again, dude. As usual.
It's always
John, suck a dick.
John.
Fucking Howard Stern. Fuck you, dude. Shit burns. Fucking with you. We'll be back, assholes.
Wow, that's long.
Yeah. Toss it.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
What?
It got knocked onto the floor.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jude must have knocked it. I thought I'd suction cupped it. I guess it didn't stick. So what was the answer? I was on the phone. Is there coming back in to record or to do another round?
No, not today.
No, not today. Okay.
I feel like John concentrated more on dissing you.
It was funny. I mean,
Yeah. And
Well,
I
we have
feel
one
like
angle of it, I guess.
it was kind of even, but then when you got into your second verse, you really shit on him.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. I honestly thought that he beat your first verse, but your second verse beat him.
You just have like a good line in there, and really your skills go out the window, and it turns into
insult comic.
I also didn't have headphones on, so I couldn't hear the music, so I just heard you guys going at it like you were reading poetry. It was weird.
yeah, you might as well have.
Yeah, the music didn't really mean a whole lot.
You said is next.
Yep.
Do you want me to stop at a certain point?
No.
Well, at some point, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to. So that's.
Yeah, it sounded like it was something where they're doing kind of just in time, shipping, and they're running out of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the show I listened to was talk about how one of the guys was like, yeah, I went there and there was no carrots available.
Better be some fresh news with it.
It's not. When I say yesterday, think Monday. Want me to shut this, Angel?
Yeah.
What I found
Oh, where'd you find that?
in the kitchenette.
Oh, that's weird. That's so weird. Why would it be in there? It's like nobody's sent it out for promotional purposes.
I'm assuming you have a copy.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, if you want it, great. If you're just gonna chuck it, I would take it just because, But I have a copy, so I'm good.
I'm just gonna poke through it and I'll bring it back when I'm done with it.
No, I mean,
I actually found a book.
my copy says I stole something from you on page 35. Or just he signed it for me. So
Yeah, and I know this person too. This is an old acquaintance, so this is random shit
it's
I found.
pretty interesting, huh? I like those glasses for you.
Oh, really? My eyes were tired.
I'm going blind.
I think I probably am too, but I just like saying my eyes are tired.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Jason Ellis. Do you like pussy?
Pussy is arguably not G-rated.
Right. Do you like girls? Do you like cool shit? Do you like the inside of people's holes? The shit in the holes thing, mate, no. I didn't say shit. Yeah, you did. You don't even know you say shit. Ah, shit.
Yeah, do you like shitting in people's holes? You can't say that, Jason.
I said that? Man, who does that?
Jason Ellis Show. Right here on Faction Talk. Online and on demand anytime on the SiriusXM app.
Fuck that button.
I think. That guy with the mohawk from Glee is dead?
I didn't know that he had him. I don't know who that guy is, but I do know that my wife showed me that a guy from Glee killed himself because he had child porn.
Well, we don't know why, but he had pled guilty to child pornography charges, and he was due to be sentenced, I think, in March. So
You're
it's
right. And you
coming
just
up.
wait, and you're saying you don't know why he killed himself?
He could have just been lonely.
Well,
I don't think so, but
no, I
yeah.
roll. Will I didn't catch any of the episodes of Glee, but I mean, fuck that guy.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
Kind of noble of him, really.
I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. I wonder
Me
about
too.
that sometimes. If maybe people who commit, like, has anyone ever written a suicide note? Now, this guy is exceptional because he had been caught and had been convicted and was
Right.
awaiting sentencing. But has anybody ever? Because he'll say, "Oh man, if you have impulses towards kids, you should do the right thing and just kill yourself." Did anybody ever write a suicide note and just be like, "I have impulses towards children that I hate and I can't stop, and I'm afraid I might act on, so I'm killing myself"?
Yeah, it's pretty real.
Because I feel like if not, then how many suicides are due to that? Because I believe some people do take their lives because of that.
Yeah, that's the only time I think it's really acceptable. Just about one of the only times it would be acceptable.
Well, what do you mean by acceptable?
You know, I just think it's a really generally cowardly, terrible thing to do.
You mean like for the loved ones around you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but if you don't have
But if you don't have them,
well, what would you rather your loved one as a child?
No. In this case, I'm
alive?
saying no. I'm saying
Yeah.
In a case, especially if somebody's acted in that kind of way. I think that's.
I feel like you're more talking about like when you're a dad or a mum and you kill yourself. It's like you had your kids to raise.
Yes.
You can't do that.
100%.
Yeah. Well, this guy just seemed to be like a youngster. I don't think he had any kids. So.
Yeah, but of course there are people who care about you.
Well, but
and
Will said this is the only time when it's acceptable to kill yourself,
Right.
and I was kind of thinking out loud. I wonder if there's any other time.
Well, yeah, like let's say that you're 800 years old and you have an incurable disease that's going to make you suffer for a year.
Yeah, no, I can think of others.
Yeah.
I think I personally probably have a more permissive attitude towards like if somebody had just struggled with like crippling depression through their teen years and everyone goes, just get through your teens and it'll get better. And then 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. And if your parents have like passed away and stuff, like, yeah, it'd bum out your family that you took your life. But at a certain point, you're the one that's got to deal with the incessant suffering of your life day in, day out. I can understand why I can accept that person taking their life.
It doesn't matter what any of us think. It's a personal thing for someone, obviously. Deeply personal.
What if you walk on the side of a building doing handstands and you slip and die, and you kind of had your suspicions that you might have slipped and you might die?
Yeah, well, there's obviously self-destructive people.
Is that cowardly?
God would see through such a fiendish plot, Jason.
Oh, fuck off. I was really trying to do a handstand on the edge of the fucking building.
But yeah, of course, there's plenty of people who do stuff not actually caring if they live or die.
Yeah.
Absolutely, positively. Yeah. And then, the vast majority, I'm told, of fatal one-car accidents are not accidents.
Never thought of that.
Yeah.
I think there's better ways to do it. But last night, the president gave his State of the Union speech.
I looked at that for a second.
I did not.
I was like,
yep. Anything. I made it my business to not know a goddamn thing.
Well, I thought it was cool that he said. It was kind of weird to me because he goes, we've got, we make more money now than ever before. And everyone goes, ah! And he goes, rah, 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 rah. And then everyone sits down and he goes, and this guy made more money than he's ever made before. Ah! And they all stand up and point at that guy. And the guy next to him works for him and makes more money than he did before. Ah! And then all of a sudden the camera goes to these other people that are like, full anti-rah! They're just like... And I'm like, wait a minute, is this the same room? Because it's like a flick to the camera, and I'm like, wait, who are... Oh.
Yeah.
Those must be those snowflake liberal...
Bedwetters.
Yeah.
I think is the word you were looking for.
But it works both ways, too, during Obama.
I know, but...
Yeah.
But I thought...
When the team that you don't root for says that something is good, you need to sit there and make a face like... That isn't good.
Yeah, but that's what, as an innocent bystander who's watching it, he just did say that, like, we pay less tax. It's some weird thing to brag upon, but there were a couple of them where I was like, if he actually is telling the truth, that's worth everyone being happy about. Why is half of the room not happy about that?
That's what you're... But look, in any situation, it doesn't matter where you stand politically. In any situation, any State of the Union address, there's going to be half of the room that thinks that what he's saying is true and right, and the other half who thinks that it's twisted in a way or whatever.
Anyway, it doesn't hold. It doesn't hold as long as it used to. It's sort of, to me, it's very similar to watching MMA fighters have arguments on Twitter. I'm like, and then I go, I need another thing to entertain me on board.
Do you know what? That's actually an excellent comparison, I think, because I've always sort of known and been told, but it's never been more clear to me than now. Like, if you want to take an interest in, like, politics and stuff like that, that's great. It's your world. It's your government. But don't listen to what politicians say. It's ridiculous. That's a perfect example, dude. Go to a fucking MMA press conference and who's going to fucking murder somebody and we figured it out in camp and we got to... I don't give a fuck. Everybody's going to win the fight when they're fucking talking about it. And then they get in there and it usually ends up looking, even the guy who's going to fucking steamroll the other guy and this guy doesn't even on my level, usually eats a couple of pretty solid punches in the face from that guy who doesn't belong in there with him. Even if he does finish him in the first round. Follow what these guys are doing, because the different, and this is every politician, but what Donald Trump is saying he's doing and what this government's actually doing are like two completely different things. Frankly, what he says is kind of offensive to me. What his government's doing is not even all that crazy.
What do you mean?
Well, like a lot of shit. Okay, like they put a guy in charge.
You didn't see how many people got more money.
There's at least 2 that we know of.
Well, I've seen pretty happy about it as well.
Well, like they, okay, so the Republicans have been saying for years that they need to gut the Environmental Protection Agency because all it's doing is slowing down American business. So they finally installed a guy who, like, basically believes the entire Environmental Protection Agency should not exist, is the head of the Environmental Protection Agency. So people who believe that we do need an EPA, like myself, were nervous about that. And the guy's still saying all the right stuff about, like, fuck it, I'll fucking fart coal out my ass if it creates one more American job. But he hasn't actually done anything. Like, he's talking about gutting the EPA, but he's not actually gutting the EPA. What he's doing is kind of what any conservative would be expected to do, which is make it a little bit less lefty. Make it a little bit less like, come on, we got to have a balance here between the environment and business because people got to make money too and the world's got to still work. What they're doing is just like Republican shit. Same old Republican shit Republicans have always been doing. They talk a big game.
Well, what about when he said, because I can't remember, it's sort of like John's freestyle rap battle. You know, he said, yeah, women, 40% more, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he was like, the average person pays less tax than they have in a certain amount of years. I mean, you can't just say that, especially
Yes,
fake
you can.
news. They tear him a new asshole.
No, absolutely you can.
Wait, so it's not
okay,
true?
For example.
Wait, before you go past it, because I only caught one thing that made... He said we pay less tax than we have in like 18 years. Is that not true?
Did you look at your tax return and see?
Yeah, so they... Yeah, dude, but you can lower tax. You can lower taxes as they have. Dude, the Republicans lower taxes. What they fucking do? He for sure lowered taxes.
What about if, man, you kind of do sound like a little bit of a lib guy right now. What about if liberals cut taxes and they say it? Do you believe them?
No, dude. I said he lowered taxes. He absolutely did lower taxes.
Yeah.
Republicans lower taxes. Democrats raise taxes. That's I'm agreeing with that. But like you can lower taxes, but you can also close deductions. And then I can say, well, but I actually ended up paying, and you can say, no, but I reduced your rate from blah, blah, blah to blah, 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 and then we can argue all day.
Yeah.
That's the way this shit always works. Dude, he supposedly gave this massive tax break to businesses, and that sounds, like if you're...
that's right. They stood up for that.
Well, the average American is just like, well, wait a second, why does business get a tax? Why businesses need to pay more taxes? But that sounds good to businesses, but actually it doesn't. It's not even as good for them as it sounds like because they closed a lot of the loopholes that businesses used to be able to use. So they close your loophole for stuff that you can write off, but they lower your rate. Well, we got to do the math and actually see where that ends up.
Yeah, and that's where you practically have to be an economist to understand all of that stuff.
I'm not going to stand up. I was on the couch, but I'm happy. That was a good report. What?
Nothing.
Well, I just have to go, man. He probably means that probably means that it's way worse, and we probably got ripped off even more. Why can't I just be like, maybe we pay less tax right now? Cool, he did something cool.
I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm not saying you're saying that. It just,
but you did. You just said I sound like.
You're starting to. It does sound. It's sort of like, well, he's the one that's talking right now. Yeah. So it just seems like, well, yeah, Jason, what he is saying, sure, but it probably means. And I'm like, well, you don't know. You just say it probably means that he's doing it. He's fucking us somewhere else. You don't. If you don't know that, at all. That's what it sounds like.
Well, let me repeat what I've already said, which is that. People act like there's only two answers. Either Donald Trump is the greatest and everybody who doesn't get it hates America, or Donald Trump is the great Antichrist. And I'm saying that
nobody thinks that.
Well,
I mean, sure,
there's tons of people.
Twitter might think that, but you can't say everybody thinks that.
I didn't say that. There's like the two.
A lot of people.
A lot of people think that Donald Trump is the Antichrist, and a lot of people think that he's the savior.
All right, I don't know anybody that thinks he's the legitimately Antichrist or just like some sort of shit talking.
No, you know what I'm saying? That he's the best or he's the worst.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's people who think he's the best or the worst, and I'm saying that the answer is that his politics so far, what he's doing, are just kind of Republican. They're just not. They're not really all that radical. They're not worth getting all that excited about what they're actually doing, in my opinion.
I mean, when has anybody made a political statement where you should be excited about it?
Well, if he...
When was the... What's the... I mean,
okay,
that sounds like to me,
in
the last 10 years, that guy said some shit where it sounded like instead of, we're fucked, we're more fucked, we're more fucked, he was like, hey, we're getting out of this, this is a good thing, it's better than it was last time. I don't remember hearing anybody say how it's always been like that. It's always seemed to me like
every president says that.
Do they?
Every president says the state of the union is strong.
Yeah, that's literally the sentence.
And we're going places, people. Everybody does that. Everybody from Jimmy Carter, who was a shitty president, to other shitty presidents and other great presidents. Everybody says that.
I'll give you an example. Like during his campaign, he was saying there's going to be like massive trade tariffs. Like you're gonna have to pay like 30% on goods delivered from China just to get them in the country, and that was gonna encourage American business. And I have no idea if that's a good idea or a bad idea. I'm not an economist, but I do know it's a radical idea, and a lot of people think it would be disastrous. We do that, and then they do it to us, and an eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind. But the reality is, he hasn't actually done that. He can still go around saying he's tough on that stuff, but what he's done is, again, kind of what I would expect any Republican president to do. Not very radical.
Wait, it didn't change at all?
He didn't do it.
Oh.
I mean, another example, because I just read a little bit of, I always like to, when any politician talks, I like to read the fact-checking portion of it. And for example, and I won't get this exactly right, but, mentioning like jobs that like Apple is creating in the United States. That's true. However, there are way more jobs being created in China by Apple than in the United States. So every issue is way deeper than just one sentence. And that's what most people get stopped by, is the first sentence of any argument, and they don't manage to look deeper into it.
It's actually pretty incredible. Almost every single development that comes out, I'm like, well, that's got to be bad, right? Or that's got to be good, right? Who could possibly argue otherwise?
Right.
Well, read about 3 replies deep on Twitter.
Yeah.
And somebody's already figured out exactly why whatever you think is exactly wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single thing is totally debatable.
Well, I'm going to get paid more money next month, and I'm excited about it.
Congratulations.
Probably going to be like $3, but you know what? I won't even know. I just realized. I'm going to be like, let me see how much it went up.
You should look at your stub.
Yeah, you should.
Did, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if it actually did anything.
I bet it did.
Do you think it would do something like if you have a CVS card at CVS? Like that kind of damage? Well, sometimes I buy stuff at CVS and I don't have a card because I don't want... I'm like, no, I'm giving... Fuck off. And then Katie has it and she puts a number and she goes, look, just save $7. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. But I kind of do think it's cool. Like, I was like, what, $7?
Do what I do.
Is it going to be like that?
In any situation like that, I put in the local area code and 555-1212.
Yeah. And what?
You get the discount.
Yeah, because people sign up with their phone number and you can count on somebody having signed the local... Right, I put in 323 or 310, which are the big LA phone numbers, and then 867-5309, which somebody has always claimed, and I just get the discount. You can use that anywhere.
Anyway, see, for people like me, that's very. So this, I'm glad I just did that accidentally. For people like me, I just saw it and I was like, oh, "Cool, I'll get it." We're making a little bit more money. And then he said, "Hey, small businesses, you get a tax break." And I was like, "Cool, small businesses need tax breaks, yay!" And then I was like, the dudes behind him were making creepy faces. I'm going to watch something else. Because I couldn't... I was a bit weird about it. Somebody was like... I don't know. Well, there's certain things that the guy with the black hair was particularly pumped about.
No.
And I could tell that he was like... He could not wait to stand up before everyone stood up. I'm like, man, he had a lot to do with that one.
There's always one really happy guy behind the president and one really sad guy.
See, that's it. I saw both of them to be very happy.
Not this time.
Yeah, they were both very happy.
You got the vice president and the head of the Senate, and they're both Republicans.
Okay.
Right. The best is when there's a guy who's actually on the screen the whole time. And if you believe that, I'll tell you another one face. Right. That used to be John Boehner behind Obama. Just like, are you guys really falling for this shit? Like it's his job to make that face the whole time.
I think most of those guys they kind of are really respectful that are on there behind them. Anyway,
It's theater.
I wasn't even gonna really get into the whole speech from last night. The only thing I wanted to mention was here comes a phone call. Never mind.
Wait a minute, Lee. How much more money do I make?
Right, and
wait, I had a state deduction.
Dude, it's all kinds of shit. And there's you used to itemize your write-offs. Now you don't really itemize stuff, but there's a ceiling on, like, I think it's like 12,000 on how high, like, basic, instead of getting write-offs, that's just your standard deduction. So if your write-offs used to be more than $12,000, which in your case I would guess they probably were, now you can't write them off anymore. So it's fucking complicated. It's just complicated.
It's like going out with a woman.
Yeah, the real test is not your paycheck, it's what you pay in, what your overall tax you paid in is over the year. I mean, when you do your taxes.
Well, I can still do 20 push-ups.
Yeah, and your taxes are going to be lower, I would guess. I'm under that impression.
I know.
Yeah.
Hope so. Hope taxes are lower. Anyway, I was going to mention anything about that. I was just going to mention that, and he did mention in the speech last night, but credit where credit is due. Donald Trump said he would make the opioid crisis a priority, and
everyone stood up.
A congressional committee has found over the past 10 years, 2 drug companies have shipped 20.8 million painkillers to 2 pharmacies in Tug Valley, West Virginia.
Man, those people are sore.
Tug Valley has a population of under 3,000 people.
Wow, they are aching.
Yeah.
Are these amputee? Is everyone an amputee or what?
Between 2006 and 2016, 2 drug wholesalers shipped 10.2 million hydrocodone pills and 10.6 million oxycodone pills to the pharmacies in this town. According to a study, the nationwide rate of deaths from opioid overdoses was about 10 and 100,000, but people in West Virginia, they're leading the way with about 35 deaths per 100,000, so it's like 3 times the amount of overdoses that they're having in West Virginia.
So what does that mean? They're selling them illegally there or something? Or I don't understand.
Doing some quick math. I think it's about 700 pills per person per year. So everybody would have to take like almost 2 pills a day for 10 years. Everybody in the town.
Men, women, and children.
Yes, exactly. For 10 years straight, every day.
All right, so we're cracking down.
So yeah, I certainly hope so.
Don't ask us. We got the order, so we ship them the pills.
Right.
Don't.
We've been thinking this whole time that when it comes to that false alarm of the incoming ballistic missile in Hawaii, that it was a matter of somebody accidentally pushing the button when they shouldn't have. Well,
I assumed it was like a series of coincidences where like a coconut fell off a tree and rolled down something.
A Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah,
exactly.
Makes sense. Coconuts fuck a lot of things in Hawaii. I'll be the first to tell you.
It's the Gilligan Island theory.
Yes, which was filmed in Hawaii.
Right.
Coincidence?
I think not.
The Washington Post is reporting that the emergency worker believed that the ballistic missile was inbound after mishearing a recorded message as part of a drill. Basically, this overnight manager decided to test the day team, so he called in with the message, which has, exercise within the message to show you this is not actually happening, this is an exercise. But unfortunately, he also read the part that said this is not a drill at the end of the message. So it's really that guy's fault. This guy, the guy didn't hear the exercise part. And he did hear the this is not a drill. So he pushed the button.
You said that is his fault.
Yeah, I think they could share some blame.
No more than one exercise, that's his fault.
Yeah, if they only said it once.
Exercise once,
right?
Maybe you'd miss it. Wait, what was that noise? But if it's exercise, right. Fuck you, dude. It's your fault.
Even if they say at the end, this is not a drill.
Huh?
Even if they say at the end, this is not a drill.
Well, isn't it? That's his job, is to know that it says exercise, this is not a drill. It's not my fucking job to read when it's exercise. Do I read what it's not a drill means? That's your job to know what a drill means, because that's your job. You're in your chair. It's like saying, what happens if this fucking button goes? It says, fuck you, Will.
It's just like the beginning of War Games.
I never watched that. What is that? A movie? A game?
Want to play a game?
Yeah, I watched it 2 times. And I
So,
know what you're talking about.
80s. Oh, it's the beginning of the
Matthew Broderick.
movie. That's the whole reason they have to have the War Games computers, because the 2 guys in the missile silo, there's a drill, and the one guy won't turn the key and,
What do you
launch
watch that
the
alone
rocket.
at night every night or something?
Every night I watch that.
It's weird. I don't know about that movie.
So, if there were like nukes heading for Los Angeles, so I would get a text on my phone.
This is a message from the president. Yeah.
Wait, that
But wait,
guy?
what
I
I
never
meant-
saw this movie.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick was in that, right?
If you notice when you go into your phone settings, there's a setting for getting alerts, and you cannot change the presidential alert setting.
I know that. Yeah, I thank you. I did know that. But like, would it go like, "Brrr, this is a message from the president," or would I just get a text?
No, it would make that noise that you get during an Amber Alert, which is the old EAS test.
Is there any way that I can just set it up so? Because I was thinking about this. I read some terrifying shit while I was in bed for the last week or so. There's a lot of terrifying things to read nowadays.
Don't tell me.
No, I'm not going to tell you. But if America were going to be nuked, I figure I've got a 1 in 3 chance of being asleep when it happened. And frankly, that's how I want to go. Like, if you tell me that there are a lot of nukes coming to America, I would rather just die in my sleep.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'd rather not know.
Aw! I mean, if I don't have the kids, can you tell me? I want to get really high. I've always wanted to just go
If
real
I find
full
out,
blast one more time.
I'll call you. I'll call you.
But that's why I think I should have the choice. I understand that other people might want to be woken up to prepare for the coming nuclear apocalypse, but not me.
I gotta jerk off. Maybe get one more out, you know.
Speaking of movies, Richard Roper, the movie critic from the Chicago Sun-Times, he's the guy that took the place of Roger Ebert on At the Movies. It was probably the biggest movie review show that ever was. This is in America.
He took Siskel's. He replaced Siskel.
Oh,
when Siskel
okay.
died. Yeah.
Well, he took one of their places anyway.
Is that the fat guy with no neck?
No. That was Ebert. So he was the new when Ebert kept going without Siskel. He brought this guy in.
Yeah, and he's being investigated by the Sun-Times for possibly artificially boosting his Twitter followers.
Why does everybody do that?
Why do they care?
Yeah,
good point.
I'm a journalist. I'm trying to report on this Disney movie.
Oh wait, he just boosted his own account?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah,
I
agree.
think it's funny when you go, "You're the man," and it's you saying it.
During a 1-week period in September, he apparently experienced a sudden unexplained drop of 20,000 followers, quickly followed by a sudden unexplained gain of 25,000 followers. And a lot of people, this story that was reported, I think, in the New York Times, has made Twitter examine what's going on, and more than 1 million followers have disappeared from the accounts of dozens of prominent Twitter users in recent days because of the article and because of what's happening. There's this company, it's called Devumi, where apparently you can buy lots of Twitter followers for very little money.
Right.
And they're investigating that role. But I don't understand why anything would have to be investigated. Who cares how many Twitter followers you have?
Well, I think if it might be like a couple thousand here and there, sure. But I think if it's like 1 million, then I think if you get 1 million followers, I don't know, I don't have 1 million followers, but I was under the assumption that you could make money from doing nothing if you had 1 million followers. So if you did find a way to get 1 million followers without, well, that's why I think they're doing that, because I feel like if there's people out there that are saying that they walk around with 1 million followers saying, "Look at my stretch pants, go to stretchpants.com," and Stretch Pants is like, "Man, for some weird reason we're not getting a lot of orders, but she's still this chick that has 1 million followers." That's a scam, you know?
Yeah, no, totally, and that's fraudulent activity and should be prosecuted. But just like if you're a famous person, you're like, well, I want me to look cooler in front of people. Well, that's not fraud.
But it's already, we did there's tons of dudes. They did it on Instagram, and tons of people lost like millions of followers, and nobody took any. Who was it? Like some fucking rapper that bought a bunch of them. I remember hearing about it. I didn't. Like, he didn't drop it because, well, first of all, probably I didn't respect him in the first place. But somebody, I just remember thinking, good for him. He probably had so much money that he just spent like, here's like 100 grand. I want 5 million followers.
Right.
And now instead of having 1 million, he has, 7, whatever it is that he added, and it got down. He still went down to, that's like, I think Justin Bieber, remember there was the whole thing where he might have had 1 million real followers, but his account said that he had,
27 million.
Yeah, 27 million. So I don't think even if Bieber did it or Bieber's manager did it, you don't have to. You know, like the girl that has 12 million followers because of her butt that yelled at people in the plane. I don't. She probably bought a lot of them too, but I don't. It's still hundreds of thousands of people that follow and look at your bullshit.
Yeah.
And look, quite frankly, every photo you posted is fake. Like, you want to talk about buying followers?
Yes.
What about every photo that you post? What about every lie about everything you like? I feel like so many people I know that don't even make money out of it. There's this weird thing where I see fitness models that, I mean, I'm a fitness model. I'm a on it paid athlete. I've been sponsored by them for fucking 10 years. I don't go to the gym and do a fake squat and hold the protein and then go on the couch and handle a bunch of stuff. Like, I feel like some people do it, and not only they do it for no, you know, I've got a background, like, on my skateboarding and all this other stuff that I've done. Like, I'm one of the only people that's done that stuff. My proof is in the pudding. Like, there's other people that I don't even think they get paid yet. They get free powders and they just take ass photos, do an arm curl. I feel like I see these people. I don't go to gyms that much anymore because I got my own at my house, and I'm into more throwing heavy things and just like the fundamental gym workout. But every time I was ever at the gym, there is at least one girl in there that is just no holds barred. I am filming myself and everybody in the gym knows this is a fucking personal photo shoot. She's paid a membership, but it's a membership that's like $20 a month, and she's going ballistic in front of a mirror and fucking leaves. No sweat.
Fake it till you make it.
And then I've got personal trainer friends that say that a lot of the girls that they train, I shouldn't just say girls because maybe it's guys too, but he trains mainly girls. But he said all the pretty girls he trains, every single one of them has had a bunch of surgeries. They all do these. They inject themselves with stuff, and he said that he said anybody you think that looks like they might be are like thick with abs are doing something. I'm like, come on, dude. There's natural people out there that has that. That's the nature of... He's like, dude, they go to work all day. Like, you can't look like that normally. You've got to do stuff.
But that's the nature of Instagram, Facebook, all that. Nobody puts up a picture that they think is bad of themselves, and if it is, they'll try to manipulate it into something that looks good or cool.
Eric Andre does.
I know. I got friends that like do stuff where they like try to make them have any chins they have, even though they don't have those chins. So that's not true.
Yeah,
I think most people do.
I post fat photos of myself.
Richard Roper is like a celebrity movie reviewer. I know it's a newspaper, so they feel like they have to have some journalistic standards or whatever. But yeah, he's like a TV movie reviewer. Him buying Twitter followers makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
It does not offend me in the slightest.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I was not counting on Dick Roper for a bit of credibility.
I
in the
know.
First place.
No, I know, but
I don't even care what he thinks about the new.
It
Fast
sounds
and
like to me,
Furious.
quite frankly, it's personal. Like, why point this guy out for doing that?
Here's the deal. The article mentions that that Twitter is getting scrutiny from federal and state governments about the fake followers. I don't know how this might violate state or federal law or why there should be an investigation. I think it's the biggest shit over nothing in the universe. If you're making money because you appear to have 12 million followers, then okay, maybe that's fraudulent. But otherwise, who cares?
And is it not the company who gave you money because they thought you had 12 million followers? Is it not their fault for not checking and seeing, actually what kind of... I mean, is it not a risk to endorse anybody?
Of course.
But like, just because somebody's really popular, sometimes they can sell the product. I mean, I've done stuff where the product doesn't match up to the thing that I'm into, or I've had skateboard sponsors before where that product sucked.
Right.
So it didn't matter how many fucking ads I did, nobody was going to buy it. It was a terrible idea.
Right.
So there's that.
California earthquakes are a scientific inevitability. It's gonna happen. A new report shows that the earthquake situation in California is actually more dire than people realize. Although many Californians can say, yeah, I know what it feels like to be in an earthquake, most have never personally experienced a strong earthquake, one that's like a 7 or higher.
Do we have to?
Eventually.
Why?
Maybe not in your lifetime.
What do I do?
Maybe
Will?
tomorrow.
I'm at my house.
Come on, Will.
Well, they say
It's supposed to be a fart, dicky, poopy show.
They say that California is in
Write that down,
an
it's great
earthquake drought. Multiple segments of the very large San Andreas fault system are now
shit!
sufficiently stressed to produce large and damaging events.
So I vote for The Rock.
Luckily,
we're not in a cronut drought.
Man, I watched a movie last night.
Luckily, we're all prepared for the big ones.
I watched a movie last night about some guys that fucking had dreams of storms, and he had to take sleeping pills, and he fucking built like a in-ground thing for like tornadoes and shit in his house, and his family were gonna break up, and then his therapist said he need to go on a vacation, and the whole movie's about, you know, this giant storm is gonna kill him, and he's like has visions of how he's gonna protect himself. This movie sucks so bad that I'm gonna spoiler alert the whole fucking thing. So
what movie is it? First,
I don't know.
Okay.
Tornado. I don't know. But it's the guy who's the bad guy in Superman. I really like him. He's the Iceman in the movie Iceman. He's good. He's a good actor. Yeah, that guy, Michael Shannon. But this movie, fuck, it drags all the way to the very end.
Take Shelter.
Where, spoiler alert, I think they die, but they don't even show it. He's not where the shelter is. He goes to where he has the visions of where he's gonna die, but you don't ever show a giant storm where people die. And I feel at this point in time, we all deserve catastrophic death scenes. What?
Sorry you were severely disappointed that there was not a catastrophic death scene.
Look, he has visions of tornado. No fucking tornado comes.
It's like Anton Chekhov said, if you show a gun in the first act, that gun has got to fire in the third act.
Yes. Yes, and obviously the director of this movie did not know about that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
From CBS News in
What, Cool
Miami.
Beans? What? Alright. No.
The Grey?
Wait, you haven't seen The Grey? Obviously from that comment. You see wolves all the time. You see wolves in the most kick-ass angles of ever in a movie. Ever. It makes wolves look so fucking cool. The only unfortunate part is this. They're a little too cool, and you're like, oh man, god damn you, Hollywood. Like, they don't, I mean, the alpha's like pointing people out and shit. I'm like, come on, man, give it a break.
The wolves are a little too glamorous.
Like the alpha of the humans and the alpha of the wolves eventually meet. Like, it's like, come on, dude. You know, and then you know, there is that wolves do stuff, and they do pack, and they do hang out. But his story, like, you know, because you know, he's got special fucking talents and special reasons, and he's gonna kill you or the wolf or save his daughter. It's all one fucking movie. He keeps telling these people about what wolves will do, the things that they're known for, you know, and it's like, well, bullshit. You know,
I'm gonna
fucking pulling them out of planes and shit, tearing people apart. I'm like, come on.
I'm gonna go through.
They're not eating us. They're hunting us down. Oh, fuck off.
I'm gonna go through a whole bunch of stories real quick. Okay,
Yeah.
Ready?
Lightning round.
Lightning round. Last week, a student punched and kicked a teacher. Police arrived, put the student in handcuffs. The student, who's 7 years old and in first grade, was put in a psychiatric ward at a hospital based on their protocol.
Holy, not cool.
Well,
you can't go to wait. How much of a punch was this 7-year-old giving?
I believe it turned into kind of a full-on fight. I mean, both the teacher and the student ended up on the floor
fighting each other.
The kid was punching and kicking the teacher.
Right.
He was playing with his food during cafeteria. You can't do that.
Wait.
Well, come on. If the protocol is that if a 7-year-old kicks their teacher, you put them in a rubber room, obviously we all disagree with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a 7-year-old alive who belonged in a rubber room? That's the question.
Well, I mean, there's this thing called the Baker Act, which allows police to involuntarily put people in a psychiatric hospital for observation for a certain amount of time.
Yep.
Sounds a bit cunty to me.
Well, it depends. Look, I don't know.
7-year-old put him in there.
Maybe that kid is a dick.
7-year-old in a fucking padded room overnight without his mummy and daddy.
Hey, I don't know if that's the case.
Wait, did mummy and daddy get to stay in there with him?
Maybe he didn't stay overnight. I don't know. Anyway.
It's cunty. You put a 7-year-old in jail. You're a cunt.
Monday night around 7:30 in Cedar Valley, Utah, a couple of dudes riding along in a truck saw a helicopter, so they thought it would be cool to point their laser pointer at it.
Yeah.
That turned out to be a military helicopter, which was specially built to track vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, they tracked the guys all the way home and sent the police over there to detain them.
Helicopter crashed in Huntington Beach yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it. It was terrible. Like
into a house.
3 people died or
Yeah.
something.
Why does a helicopter need to be built to specially track vehicles? Can't any helicopter just fly over the vehicle and follow it forever?
Well, sometimes there's bridges and shit, yeah.
Well, so what? You go under the bridge. You really got to come out one of 2 ways.
No, sometimes they stay under the bridge and then they get out of the car and they run. And the
Or-
helicopter can't see it.
While it's under the bridge, they get in another car. That's happened
That's
before.
happened,
Yeah.
even though the helicopter caught that one. I saw that.
From the
So
New
these
York
guys went out with their laser pointer in some mountain in Utah and planted another car underneath a bridge just in case the military.
No. They called their buddy and said, "Hey, meet me under the 101 at Melrose or whatever."
Yeah, the military is after me.
No, dude. Okay, look.
Move on, Will.
Why don't you come implicate yourself?
Next story. A man was sleepwalking. He walked right out of his window of his house.
We didn't need him.
In the Lower East Side of New York on the 8th floor.
That's dead, right?
Luckily, he fell into a scaffolding 6 stories below. He and just his boxers was taken to Bellevue Hospital with a broken leg and rib injuries to his back.
Wakey.
He had a history of sleepwalking when he was a kid, but it hadn't happened recently. That's me. I used to sleepwalk when I was a kid, but as far as I know, it hasn't happened recently.
Well, lock up your doors.
There's a great little film called Sleepwalk With Me that I think is pretty funny on Netflix if you want to see something about that. All right. Police are looking for the people involved in a fight in a New Jersey Denny's. I figure that probably happens almost every night.
Won't they be back next Saturday? Because in Jersey, people at Denny's fight each other. That's what me and Will said. That you guys are trashy. Denny's and Jersey together makes trash. That's what me and Will are both pointing out to you right now, Tully. Trashy fuckers. Let it go.
I think
that's what you meant, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, not. I mean, look, I think.
I mean, I guess you could say Denny's anywhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. Alabama, I would expect the same, or maybe a Waffle House in Alabama.
Why would you not expect people to fight with each other routinely?
I'll tell you where. Santa Monica Denny's. I'm not sure if they have one.
Beverly Hills Denny's.
Right? Do they have one?
No, they don't have one of those. Ford Motor Company's building an artificial intelligence cop car to give people tickets. But wouldn't that be like the red light tickets? So doesn't a cop actually have to be there to give out the tickets? And wasn't there a ruling on that?
No, it just takes a photo and then you get it in the mail.
Yep. That's what I thought when I got my robo ticket, but that was me in the picture. No denying it.
O.J. Simpson
looking around like nobody's looking, right?
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson cashing in on autographs since his release from prison, and I can think of at least one person not happy about that.
That girl's dad.
The guys, the Fred Goldman, yeah, the lawyer for Fred Goldman, it says that the amount of money that they owe is now, that OJ owes them, is now over $70 million.
How's that fair?
Because a civil court, found him guilty of murdering.
Don't you go to
people.
jail for owing money?
They don't really have a debtor's prison.
Yeah, but if you don't pay,
if you don't pay it and you're ordered to by the court, yes, because you're
right, but you're receiving money for this other shit.
So rather than Goldman just getting his mustache in a bunch again, can't something be done?
The court can order if there's money. I don't know what the
look. Somebody from Jersey's called to prove a point to me. Evan, go ahead. Right, that's right. You don't take shit, so you might end up fucking fighting me if I keep spracking off, huh? Just like the fucking trash at Denny's.
Yeah. You know what's funny is you were kidding, and he kind of made it where we're not kidding.
Yeah, he ended up sort of
yes,
the stereotype true. All that shit is over, dude. Last time I was in New Jersey, I went to a Greek diner, and they had a fucking kale burger on the menu. It's over.
Yeah.
Wait, a kale burger? So, wait, it's just kale compressed into a patty?
I think it was like a veggie burger with kale and a bunch of other shit on it. It was called the Kale Burger at the Colonial Diner in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. It ain't right.
I had mine. Here's yours, Tully. Go ahead, Josh.
All right.
Not as windy as you.
There you go, proving Tully's point. What's up with your vag, libtard snowflake? Like, why do you all
Yes,
sound
Tully,
the same?
you're like a woman, and that's bad.
Is that it? Is that it?
You know, I mean, really, can anybody take anybody seriously who uses those words? Like, you just disqualify yourself from even considering what you're talking about when you throw around words like that. Both sides.
Both sides.
Assholes all around.
Everybody's
Okay,
got 'em.
Jamie wants to talk about Denny's in New Jersey. Go ahead, Jamie. Hey. Right. Okay.
Hey. And
well, you know, when you say trash, I'm allowed. It's like saying gay. I can say
trash.
I'm trash, so
No,
I'm pointing it out because I'm allowed to. Yeah.
I'm trash, so I know.
Thank you,
these
Jamie.
things.
Yeah, that's why. I hope. Well, fuck that other guy. I hope I offended you, but yeah, I wasn't. I just meant it's sort of like saying. I mean, we don't have Denny's in Australia, but you know, you could say any restaurant in Australia is trash, and I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Or a fight was likely to break out in any restaurant in Australia.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dude, when I was a kid, a Denny's would have been like nice.
I know.
I think Denny's on the same level as IHOP? Can we agree?
No. Denny's is a step
better,
above
right?
IHOP. I believe so.
Oh, we
yeah.
went to we went to IHOP after church.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
hey,
fuck yeah.
I went
So
to Waffle House after church.
So I'm lower
That's
than trash,
way
I
better.
guess.
Yeah.
Waffle House is better than all of them. I don't care how trashy it is.
When you can buy a steak for like $5.
Look, I'm not from here. Denny's did me right. There was I found ranch dressing for the first time before I was in Australia. I had found ranch at Denny's and croutons, and I was like, this place is the greatest place on earth. And then the other food from then on, the IHOP on tour, I got frozen eggs. Like, it was frozen. And I told them it was frozen, and they came and gave it to me. It was like just a little less frozen, and I was like, it's still frozen.
Yeah.
So that was, but maybe that was just a bad IHOP.
You definitely don't want any place that freezes their pancakes, man.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Anyway.
There's all over online, you can see this woman who's trying to get her emotional support animal on a flight. It was a peacock.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
It's funny because we were just talking about how people are getting out of control with their pets, but yes, an emotional peacock.
In Newark.
Yes.
Those are the ones with the big feathers, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's a big fucking bird, man.
Yeah, it is. She bought a ticket for it, apparently. Nope. Don't get on the airline. Virgin.
I told her 3 times when she called ahead of time not to bring it, and she still brought it.
Yeah, she's trying to make a point. Virgin Atlantic is going to have love suites on some of its New York-bound jets, where you can climb inside a little pod with your loved one and do some work together.
You just have some privacy. Didn't you?
Andrew just showed me video of this fucking idiot with a peacock on its head. Like, single as fuck, that lady, right? Sorry, and I don't care if it's a girl. It's a guy. Anybody with a fucking peacock, you know?
How can you claim to be so emotionally fragile when you're such a fucking asshole?
Right? Yeah, like
Those two don't go together.
Yeah, how's it like not stressful walking around with a fucking dog on your shoulder, pretending to be a bird?
Just showing up to be a huge dick to every single person in the airport, but you're the one who needs help.
Fucking 5 foot long, standing on your shoulder, dropping cow shits off your back. Like,
that's a good
come
point.
on.
Real quickly, the oldest man in the world died. Of course he did.
That's what happens to the oldest man in the world.
Yeah, we get that story about every week. Cat came back after 10 years and 37 miles.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, from the dead.
No.
Because the Cat Zombie is a show I'll watch.
A guy robbed a Pizza Hut. He called and got the driver to show up and then robbed him. But he had just ordered a pizza the week before with that same phone number and his real information, so the police caught up to him very easily. A woman in Singapore crashed into a pedestrian stairway because she saw a roach in the car.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. And there's a pretty good, okay video of some bicyclists in Australia. Can you guess what happened to him?
Kangaroo attacks him.
Yeah,
I was going to post it.
Jumped across the road at just the right time.
You know, that happened to me, except the other thing happened, Will.
What?
I was minding my own business riding my fucking dirt bike in the bush, mate, in the outback. And I was going down this road, dirt road, and then, what's a herd of kangaroo called? Fuck it. A herd of kangaroo came out of the bush across the road into me. And when the kangaroo hit me, he ricocheted off into the woods and hit a tree head on, and I stopped. and was like, fuck, and the roof went down, and he just was like, ooh, and ran off. And I remember thinking, these bastards are so tough. And if you watch the video of him hitting the bike dude, first of all, is a total vag and stays down. He is injured and he needs an ambulance. Kangaroo doesn't land on his side. Kangaroo's shoulder block fucking flicks in the air and lands on his feet. Motherfucker has no hands, bro. Does a shoulder block and flicks himself back to 2 feet and springs off.
He collides with the guy in midair and lands just behind him in one fluid motion, hops over the man. He
Back
does not
the other
take
way.
One
That's right.
half a step to set himself.
Oh, mate.
2 really quick stories. Trophy hunter Pero Jelinek was out shooting lions in South Africa.
He got shot, yard. He got eaten.
He was about to shoot his second lion.
And another one was right behind him and it ate him.
He was struck and killed by a stray bullet.
Oh, that'll do.
And don't forget, if you've noticed a bunch more satanic sex rituals going on.
Hell yeah!
That's because
I'm here.
The big blood red.
Yes,
blue,
no, I did a lot of
full
satanic.
moon.
That's why I was not on the show. I'm not going to lie. Here's the real truth. I was having satanic sex to the red moon of blood blue or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And
I love watching Good Day LA tell us about the blood moon while they do Pilates. Strengthening my buttocks right now. And I'm like, you're on television, lady. Inappropriate.
That's I will mention that they found some orange crocodiles that they think are splitting off into a new species, which is pretty cool.
And are they like toxic or anything?
No, they're just living underground.
You think that if
in
it bit
darkness,
me that I would have like some sort of superpower?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the show. I don't know.
A sheepcock?
A hen?
Oh my god. Can we figure out how to block people from calling the show?
I think it's a hen, actually. You're
God.
mistaken, I think.
Oh, that was not the correct answer? Actually?
No, that was not the correct answer.
I'm glad you're here to correct them all.
There's no correct. The correct answer. I know. Welcome to the show, Jackson, if it is a show. Yeah. It's weird because most of the measuring that I did this weekend, it was just mainly assholes. I gotta go.
A lot of assholes.
Yeah, I haven't measured it. That's a good point. Good point. I've been very busy. Mike in Jersey. Oh god. Hey!
Nice.
Thanks, you trash.
Oh! It's the smartest piece of trash I've ever heard. Hello, Michael.
Right. Well, South Jersey isn't actually New Jersey.
And y'all is way better.
Keep driving, dude. Just keep driving. You'll be alright. Thank you. I want to do a show from that Denny's right now. That sounds like a challenge. Just
awesome.
to that waitress.
That'd be awesome.
Poor lady.
And broadcast live from Exit 4.
Ryan, you have a terrible joke about Mexicans and it's not racist. How can this not be racist?
On, dude. It's Roberto. Obviously. And the punchline's in the joke.
Yeah, you should, maybe you got to rephrase that so you're not saying Roberto
Scott
right in there.
He's like very flexible.
Latex foot finger.
You need a synonym or something.
Yes.
I gotta go. This is ridiculous.
Latex foot finger is what you're looking for.
Don't fucking die. Were your ears burning the other day when the psychic was honing in on your